Sports, Nebraska's home for sports, is live from Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska for the 2009 NSAA Football Championships. Tonight in the Class B championship game, it's the Omaha Skutt Catholic Skyhawks and the Aurora Huskies. Hi again, everybody. Alongside Adrian Fiala, I'm Kevin Kugler. 12-0 versus 12-0, a great matchup in Class B. And former Husker Matt Turman has this Omaha Skutt team. They've really been built into a powerhouse,
He really has done it. 7 years as head coach at Omaha Skutt. He's really taken a team from kind of average team up to the big leagues here, Kevin. And Matt Turman's going to go tonight with Christian Dudzik. He's gone all year with him. He's a great football player, 1,000 yards rushing, over 1,000 yards passing. Really one of a rare feat to accomplish in a season. But Dudzik is a guy who can make plays both with the feet and with the arms. So we'll expect a lot out of him tonight. Now, defensively, they've shut out 3 teams this year. They shut out the Blair in their semifinal game. Incredible defense. Look for them to really turn up the torque tonight in this final chapter of the season and look for this championship maybe to go their way.
Well, it should be a great night tonight. Also with us, former Husker Brendan Stein. Brendan, as a former offensive lineman, I know you love offensive line play, and Aurora back here again, and they bring one of the best the state's seen in a long time in Andrew Rodriguez.
Yeah, Andrew Rodriguez is 6'4", 315 pounds, kind of an anomaly at that position. The thing about Andrew Rodriguez that you love to see is his athletic ability, both on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. Look for him to be a huge present tonight, obviously. Here's a kid who has actually changed his whole life. He moved from back east, moved out here to Nebraska, had the ability for the last 2 years to make a huge impact for the Aurora Huskies, and I expect he's going to do the same thing tonight.
One of the best offensive linemen in the country, and he'll be playing on this field here this evening. Also with us on the field this evening, our own Larry Putney. Larry?
Well, Kevin, this is really the dream matchup, the matchup that everybody has been waiting for in Class B. Number 1 and defending champ Aurora taking on Skutt. And when you have 2 teams that are apparently this evenly matched, both coaches agree it's going to come down to the special teams and the turnovers. That might favor Aurora. They're plus 16 in the turnover category on the season. But, guys, both of these quarterbacks combined have thrown 2 interceptions all year, 1 apiece.
It's a pretty remarkable feat, Larry, to have Tyson Brockmeyer and Christian Dudzik so accurate all year long, and not only a combined 1 or 2 interceptions, but over 280 passes between the two. There you see the temperature, 45 degrees. Winds have actually died down a little bit from where they were earlier today. Northwest at 11 miles an hour, 51% humidity under partly cloudy skies here at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. Should be a great matchup as we take a look at the crowd filling in, and want to remind you that you can join us over the internet. The 2009 NSAA Football Championships are being carried live over the internet, so if you have friends or family who don't have access to NET, have them log on to netnebraska.org and click the live webcast tab to enjoy the football championships right on their computer. NET is Nebraska's home for sports. Aurora at 12-0, Omaha Skutt Catholic at 12-0. The Huskies, the defending state champions in Class B, surprising McCook last year in that Class B state championship game. And the way Andrew Rodriguez can move people out of the way, we'll look forward to seeing what they can do against a very quick Skutt team. It's size versus speed tonight to a certain degree.
Interesting to watch his development. We saw him last year, guys. We will see him again tonight, and I'm really anxious to watch him play. I know, Brendan, you've had a chance to work with him a little bit, but I'm still taking up with Christian Dudzik, the quarterback. We talked about the interception situation. 1 interception in 153 attempts this year. Excellent runner, 1,019 yards in that category, 1,670 yards passing. He can do it all. He can make it all happen, so excited to see him play tonight also.
Yeah, you know, Andrew Rodriguez has had one stellar career here in high school for the Aurora Huskies. He's actually was nominated to play in the 2010 U.S. Army All-American Bowl, the only Nebraska player to do that, and that's quite the honor. So, you know, he's going to obviously, after this game, get ready and prepare himself. I believe that's January 9th. It'll be on NBC. It'll be a good time to watch him again. But tonight, definitely look for him to make a huge difference. And if I'm Skutt, I'm looking to get outside a little bit on offense and keep it away from that guy in the middle. Obviously, they're going to try to double team him. That'll free up the linebackers for Aurora, but it's going to be a great challenge for him tonight.
Well, talking with head coach Randy Hubert of Aurora, talking about their size, and he said, you know, we do have the good size, he said, but I think we've got some comparable speed as well. And Matt Turman agreed. He said, you know, we've seen some speed this year. Waverly had good speed, but he said these guys have as good a speed as any team that we've seen this year, too. The size being a big concern. Tim Aylward, the Pius X coach, who's been around a long time, has had some great teams in this state. He said Omaha Skutt is the fastest team he's ever coached against in his long career. Now, you think about all the teams and the championships that Lincoln Pius X has won. For Coach Aylward to say that about this Skutt squad tells you it's a pretty fast team.
And he knows speed, guys, because Tim Aylward has made a career, and a great career. It's a very successful career at Lincoln Pius. He's got a couple of championships involved with that, but he makes it because of speed and quickness that he brings into the program, and they really work on it there at Lincoln Pius. So when Tim says that about Omaha Skutt's team, you know these guys can get out and go.
Let's throw it now to our public address announcer, Doc Weininger. He'll take over and introduce you to the players in tonight's Class B championship game.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Nebraska School Activities Association, its member schools, and U.S. Bank, welcome to Memorial Stadium for the Class B state championship game. Tonight's game features the Skutt Catholic Skyhawks versus the Huskies of Aurora High School. And now, let's meet the players and coaches competing in tonight's game. First, the starters for the visiting team, the Skutt Catholic Skyhawks. Number 2, Corey Stringer. Number 3, Spencer Mashing. Number 4, Christian Dudzik. Number 5, Jacob Smith. Number 6, Will Lanik. Number 10, Tyler Friend. Number 12, Jake Lamontia. Number 15, Michael Vancat. Number 22, Miles Jablonski. Number 33, Nick Meyer. Number 35, Joe Banami. Number 42, Kyle Picorni. Number 47, Alex Castor. Number 50, Chris Loki. Number 54, Jake Haas. Number 55, John Keck. Number 60, Turner Nee. Number 62, Brandon Engel. Number 68, Travis Holman. Number 76, Corey Holman. Number 77, Nick Vandervorst. Number 80, Sid Rye. The head coach for the Skyhawks is Matt Turman. And now, please welcome the rest of the Skutt Catholic Skyhawks to the field.
Skutt Catholic, state champions in 2005. This is their second ever appearance in the state championship game. Matt Turman brought that squad here back in 05. And they're here trying to win it again in 2009. 12-0 on the season. Skutt Catholic, a terrific job all year long to get to this point. And let's go back to Doc Weininger. He will introduce you to the starters and the participants for the 12-0 defending state champion Aurora Huskies.
And now, the starting lineup for the home team, the Aurora Huskies. Number 1, Chase Perry. Number 2, Tyson Brockmeyer. Number 3, Joshua Bart. Number 4, Austin Smith. Number 9, Matthew Grosshand. Number 11, Brian Arndt. Number 24, James Van Pelt. Number 41, Nathan Sook. Number 45, Kyle McCarthy. Number 59, Jamie Burkmark. Number 61, Miles Berthelsen. Number 75, Garrett Johns. Number 78, Andrew Rodriguez. Number 79, Bradley Hohweiler. Number 80, Jacob Schaefer. Number 81, Jared Nikavich. Number 82, Kyle Ehlers. The head coach for the Huskies is Randy Hubert. And now, please welcome the rest of the Aurora High School Huskies onto the field.
There they are, the defending state champions, a balanced offensive team. And talking with Randy Hubert, the special teams is what he has been especially pleased with. He said it's a real strength of our team, our very solid special teams, kick coverage, punt coverage, and our punt game in general. He said it's been a real strength of this Aurora Husky squad. Let's see how they got here and where they came from. Aurora and Omaha Skutt. Of course, you see Omaha Skutt from the Omaha metro area and Aurora from the great city of Aurora, Nebraska, as they take the road to the championship. Aurora beating McCook, then Adams Central to get here. Omaha Skutt with the win over Creighton, and the 32-0 blanking of Blair to get to this state championship game. Omaha Skutt and Aurora about set to go, but let's head back to Doc Wattinger to introduce you to our national anthem singers.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats to honor America as the Hastings High School Octet, directed by Mr. Tim Kennedy, sings our national anthem. High School Octet.
It is time for the Class B State Championship in Lincoln, Nebraska. Kickoff is next on NET Sports.
Farmers rely on it. Businesses depend on it. Families trust it. It is public power. And at NPPD, we know Nebraskans don't take it for granted. That's why every dollar is reinvested into the system. The power plants, transmission lines, and utility employees. that delivers safe and reliable electricity to you. Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us, together with your local public power utility.
Hey, college doesn't just happen. You have to push yourself as you go through high school. Don't be afraid to take classes like Algebra 2, Biology, or a foreign language. They can help raise your ACT score and prepare you for college. I wasn't the smartest kid in high school, but I took the tough classes and I passed. So what are you waiting for? Push yourself over to your counselor's office and sign up for them. They won't be easy, but you'll be glad you did.
Soy biodiesel from Nebraska soybeans lowers our dependence on foreign oil. It has properties that reduce engine wear. And it burns without harmfully polluting the atmosphere. The Nebraska Soybean Board encourages the use of soy biodiesel.
Along with my partner Adrian Fiala, I'm Kevin Kugler, inviting you to join us for Big Red Wrap-Up this week on Wednesday.
Kevin will recap the K-State-Nebraska game with former Husker and my broadcast partner, Matt Davis.
Join us next Wednesday for Big Red Wrap-Up right here on NET, Nebraska's home for sports. NET sports coverage of the 2009 NSAA Football Championships are brought to you in part by the Nebraska Public Power District, applauding the dedication, teamwork, and sportsmanship of Nebraska's high school athletes. By the Nebraska Soybean Board, encouraging the use of renewable biodiesel fuels for a healthier environment. For information, nebraskasoybeans.org. And by Time Warner Cable, inspiring young people to build the skills they need in science, technology, engineering, and math to become the problem solvers of tomorrow. Everybody fired up at Memorial Stadium as this Class B state championship's about to get underway. Turner Mead to kick, back deep, James Van Pelt and Austin Smith for the defending 12-0 Class B state champion Aurora Huskies. And this Class B championship's just about ready to get underway. Larry called it the matchup everybody had been waiting for all season long, and it is really that matchup between these two 12-0 state powers in Class B. And this championship is underway. Good kickoff, driving 2 yards into the end zone and a touchback to the 20-yard line for the Aurora Huskies. And let's look at the offense for the Huskies under head coach Randy Hubert. Tyson Brockmeyer, James Van Pelt, Nathan Suk, Josh Bart, Matthew Grosshans, and Brian Arndt. Your offensive line, Jamie Bergmark, Miles Bertelson, Garrett Johns, Brad Howeiler, and Andrew Rodriguez. On first down, there's Tyson Brockmeyer, the junior quarterback. Rodriguez lines up on the right side of the line. Brockmeyer, and the pass batted down. Second down, and Skutt fired up early. Let's take a look at the defense for the Skutt Catholic Skyhawks. Jake Hawes, Turner Mead, Chris Loki, and Michael Van Cat along that defensive line. Alex Castor, Kyle Picorni, Joe Bonami, and Miles Jablonski, the linebackers. Tyler Friend, Will Lanick, the corners. Christian Dudzik is the safety. Second down and 10 from the 20-yard line. And out of the gun, a little option play. The pitch to the corner and running room on the corner for Van Pelt. And he's got a first down and then shoved out of bounds. It'll be a 15-yard penalty for the late hit tacked on at the end of the run.
And this is what I'm talking about, a point of attack on the option. Right tackle right there, Jamie Bergmark gets a good head position in front of the guy, gets great position, point of attack, and makes that play go.
Accurate pitch, and now watch the speed that James Van Pelt uses to get upfield. I mean, this guy was flying once he got to that corner and took that ball and headed upfield, and they'll tack on another, what they give, another 15 on top of that?
15-yard personal foul penalty out to the 47-yard line. So a big play on second down gives a first down to the Aurora Huskies.
We heard about Skutt speed. Now we've seen Aurora speed.
Suk stands to the left of his quarterback, and they'll run the option to the right side. Flags fly. And that'll be 5 yards likely against Skutt Catholic on the offsides. Flags all over the field, and the officials will confer just to make sure. Our referee, Randy Schneckenberg. And it's going to be an illegal shift against Aurora. So
there were two people moving on the play, and I think that's what brought the offsides. There was just a lot of movement on the offense that you can't do. And a little premature on the movement as far as the, I think it was the right guard, I believe, or right guard, Bertelsen, moving on that play.
A little anxious. Get the jitters out, you know.
So first down and 15. Ball back at the 42-yard line. Just underway here at Memorial Stadium in the Class B state championship. James Van Pelt, the running back. Fullback is Nathan Suk. And on first and 15, toss play. Van Pelt trying to find running room. Not much there. Joe Vanami stacked him up at the 44-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup on the toss play.
They went in a heavy formation there. They actually lined Andrew Rodriguez out as pretty much a tight end in a heavy set there, and they still couldn't get the yardage they were looking for.
The Skutt defense running a 4-man front, 3 backers. Reacting very quickly to the pace right there. 4-yard loss.
Second down and 13 from the 44-yard line. On the option, Brockmeyer with the keep. Brockmeyer to the 45 of Skutt. 2 yards short of an Aurora first down.
Rushing for 531 yards on the year. Passing for over 1,500 yards is Tyson Brockmeyer. And again, he can do some things with his feet and make some plays also. We've got 2 excellent quarterbacks on the field here today. As we get another look at Brockmeyer here. Brockmeyer, the junior, 6'1", 165. Not a very big guy, but playing big for his team this year.
Third down and 2 from the 45-yard line. Randy Hubert, no surprise. We asked him earlier about which way he'd run if he needed 1 or 2 yards. He says, I'm running behind Andrew Rodriguez. And he's lined up on the right side of that offensive line at the right tackle spot right now.
Now, why would you do that?
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Third and 2 from the 45, and there they go to that right side, but trouble in the backfield and nowhere to go for Tyson Brockmeyer. Second big play of the night already for Joe Vanami.
Yeah, great pursuit from the backside there. And, you know, as expected, going towards your strength with Andrew Rodriguez on the right. And it's interesting how they run their offense. They actually kind of what I refer to as a pro or star G or HA offensive formation, where they'll actually shift the right tackle and left tackle.
And to punt it away, Tyson Brockmeyer averaging 41 yards per punt this year. Fourth down and 4, and the Skutt Catholic Skyhawks get the stop. Now they're going to shift in tight, and the play clock runs down, so a quick timeout has to be burned by the Aurora Huskies. So a timeout used just a couple of minutes into this ball game for Aurora. And they'll converse with Randy Hubert in his 13th year as the head coach at Aurora. Also was the head coach at Coleridge and Norfolk here in the state of Nebraska. NET is your ticket to exciting sports action right in your living room. Help us deliver inspiring sports programming by joining the NET Sports Partners Club. Your contribution helps to ensure that your favorite sports programs continue for years to come. And you'll receive some great thank you gifts with NET's appreciation for your support. Log on to netnebraska.org/sportspartners and become a member today. So the timeout used by Aurora, and they'll line up to punt once again. Back deep for Skutt. They'll go with double safeties back. And Jacob Smith, the deep man, and the up man, Christian Dudzik. Dudzik crowds the line now. Smith, the lone man back, as Aurora taking some time. Now Brockmeyer on the fake, throws, and it is incomplete. Boy, everybody was expecting to see something there. Jacob Schaefer just had it bounce off his hands.
The way they lined up initially in the formation, everybody spread out, giving that impression that maybe something had happened. Then they brought everybody back into the formation, giving the impression they're going to kick. And then what do? They turn around and throw it. So A little trickery going on right there, a little imagination for the Aurora Huskies, and now the Skyhawks take over.
Good field position for Christian Dudzik. And that offense, 3 wide to the left, trips to the left of the line. Kyle Picorni standing to the right of Dudzik, now shifts to the left. Dudzik on first down, wants to throw, does, and almost intercepted. That ball bounced off the hands of Chase Perry, who has 3 picks this year, and almost had a 4th and a flag down at midfield.
I'll tell you, this is a late flag if they're going to call defensive pass interference here.
A dead ball foul and a personal foul against Aurora. And a first down.
Not sure what happened after the play. Maybe we'll pick it up right here. Oh, there it is, right there. Yeah, that was the 45. Kyle McCarthy came in on the push in the back. Boy, that fit right into the front pocket of the Skutt team.
It's unfortunate because it didn't look malicious in any way.
But referees are really conscious this year. Never seen it, Brendan, as far as the safety of the player goes.
First down, toss play, Corey Stringer looking for running room, and Stringer down to the 31-yard line, a 7-yard pickup on first down. And here's that Skutt Catholic Skyhawk offense led by Christian Dudzik, the quarterback. Corey Stringer and Kyle Picorni join him in the backfield. Jacob Smith, Miles Jablonski, and Alex Castor round out the backs and receivers. On the offensive line, Nick Vandervorst, Brandon Engel, Chris Loki, John Keck, and Jake Haas.
Come right out there, just running right off the right tackle. Jake Haas there was a great play. Pick up 7 yards on the play.
Second down and 3, 2 wide to the left, 2 wide to the right on the short side. And Dudzik on the quarterback draw, and Dudzik slithers through for the first down to the 26-yard line. And here's the defense for the Aurora Huskies. They're being tested right now on this opening possession for Skutt. The guys who will have to stiffen look like this: Jamie Bergmark, Miles Burleson, and Andrew Rodriguez along that defensive line, a 3-man defensive front most of the time. And there's the rest: Kyle Ellers, Kyle McCarthy, Austin Smith, Chase Perry, Jacob Schaefer, Jared Nikavich, Matthew Grossens, and Josh Barton.
Aurora setting up in a 3-man front, although with Rodriguez in there, that's like 2 guys.
First down and 10 from the 26-yard line. Dudzik rolls to the left. Dudzik pumps. Now he's going to run. Dudzik inside the 25, and Dudzik spinning down, fumbles the football, and it's recovered by Aurora. He just dropped the ball as he headed toward the side, and Jared Nikavich bounced on it.
You know, he was out there making the run, and he had that ball out like a proverbial loaf of bread. And I was thinking to myself, wait a minute.
They're going to say that stays with Skutt, I believe, guys.
Watch this here.
Forward progress may have stopped. I don't believe he was down. They're going to say
came out right
the
there.
ball's out.
Right there. Wow.
Boy, that's a tough call when you're fighting for that extra yard.
Amen. That's
a big break for
let's
Skutt.
say a debatable call right there, but away the Skutt will go now.
No replay in high school. 2nd and 7 from the 23. And the toss to the short side. Some running room over there, and a first down, I believe, for Corey Stringer. It'll depend on the spot. Do they give him forward progress all the way to the line? Maybe a bit short.
Really see the speed of Skutt here on the left side, and the important thing to remember is getting a hat on a hat, and they're doing a great job of that right now.
Nick Vandervorst and Brandon Engel over on that left side in terms of left tackle, left guard. Chris Loki, the center, working some magic on the blocks over there. Third and about a length of the ball right now.
Picorni and Stringer behind Dudzik in the eye. 3rd down and short. Dudzik on the sneak. Lots of room. Dudzik plenty for the first down all the way down to the 12-yard line. A 5-yard sneak and a first down for Skutt.
You could almost see it coming, and he was looking over the line of scrimmage, picking his spot, and he is so quick, so quick.
Well, you know, the center, Chris Loki there, smart play. All he's doing is position blocking on Andrew Rodriguez. Quarterback just steps just to the left of him, and away he goes, gets the first down.
So Skutt knocking on the door here after getting the football back on the fake on 4th down from Aurora. They'll spread him out once again. Dudzik in the gun. Picorni to his right. Motion coming around. They'll run the option. The pitch is fumbled. Long pitch toward the sideline and just kept the possession. Corey Stringer sliding out of bounds. A loss of nearly 8.
Yeah, it was great pursuit and aggressiveness at the line of scrimmage for Aurora. It was well done by those guys up front. Of course, the pitch wasn't all that well, but still he was being pressured there by Andrew Rodriguez, as you see.
Pressure caused the errant toss, as Brendan just was talking about right there. See it again right now, and then he does a good job just to get to the football, make sure nobody else gets possession here, but in the process kills it down.
2nd down and 17. The ball just inside the 20-yard line. Scoreless first quarter of the Class B state championship. Kyle Picorni, the lone back. Quick pass, Dudzik. Little high throw. Slipping away very quickly is Jacob Smith. Now he's coming all the way around to the other side and a lot of room. Smith inside the 10, and Jacob Smith going a long way to get down near the 6-yard line.
We're making it fun.
Jacob Smith, leading receiver this season. I mean, obviously he's got the speed, reverses his field. You know, for a minute there, I thought the receiver kind of quit out there, the lead blocking receiver, and Smith actually turned that in, a play that was nothing, into something by reversing his field. Very impressive speed there.
Jacob Schaefer had the chance to tackle him right on the catch and then slipped away. Jacob Smith, it's a good gain. Now a 3rd down and 4 from the 6-yard line. Dudzik and company trying to punch one in here to take the early lead. Dudzik humps, pressure. Dudzik's going to run. Dudzik dives and he's in. Touchdown. Didn't even have to dive. Just stretched that ball out and dipped around the edge for the touchdown, and Skutt has the 6-0 lead.
We talked at the top about how he can make plays with his arm and with his feet. Christian Dudzik, everything closed up in the end zone. It's tough real estate down there when you're trying to throw the football. Everything closed up on that end, so he just pulls it down and let's go run and see if we can get inside the goal line. He did that. Picks up his 14th touchdown of the year. He has just been a prolific at scoring TDs, running the ball, throwing the ball.
Yeah, just with his feet, obviously he did it there, but if you noticed, when he went into, before he went to score the touchdown, he faked like he was going to throw, which drew the defense back a little bit and gave him the opportunity to just walk in.
7-0 on the score now for Skutt. Watch it again.
He's still looking, and keeps that ball on the outside, trying to get it past that pylon and the plane, and simply just outruns everybody. Chase Perry had a shot at him. Austin Smith had a shot at him. Couldn't get it done.
Now let's take a look back to Class B a year ago. It was the Huskies from Aurora against the Orangemen from Beatrice in the Class B state finals last season. Let's take a look at the highlights from the 2008 championship.
The final championship of the weekend in Class B. 2 11-1 teams will battle the Aurora Huskies and the Beatrice Orangemen. Labita and Suk in the backfield. The pitch out to Labita, who's got some room. Nice move on the outside, still on his feet down the sideline. Labita with more room and pushed out of bounds. 1st down and goal. McDonald with the sneak, he's in there. Touchdown. Aurora Huskies strike first. Bruin in the backfield along with Nooch. They'll give it one more time to Bruin, who spins it in there for the touchdown.
That's what he does.
Bruin. 2nd down and goal from the 2. The toss to Labita. He looks for that right corner. Got it. Touchdown. Labita up the middle. McDonald breaks loose. Touchdown. McDonald, the Aurora Huskies. And a give inside and in there for the touchdown. Beatrice strikes. So that'll do it. The Aurora Huskies win their first ever state football championship.
A tremendous moment last year for that coach and his team, winning the championship. Crete winning it the prior 2 years, then Omaha Skutt in 05 and Lincoln Pius X with the championship in 2004. So Skutt with the early lead, 7-0 over Aurora. Now the Huskies will have to try to answer as they get ready to receive the kickoff from Skutt.
Well, Skutt, as all good football teams do, took well advantage of a turnover. 2 of your top players from that team, Jacob Smith and, of course, Christian Dudzik, showing their stuff.
And the kickoff for Skutt. Short kick. Van Pelt from the 7. Van Pelt trying to get to the outside. Bounces off a tackle. Van Pelt at the 20 and out of bounds. We've seen a lot of work on the field, back and forth and all the way to the 20-yard line for Aurora. We chatted with Randy Hubert before the game tonight, and he filled us in a little bit more on his quarterback, Tyson Brockmeyer.
Well, Tyson Brockmeyer, he's a junior and just a great kid to coach. He's very coachable. He's got great savvy for the game. He understands the game well. He's got some very good athletic ability as far as throwing the ball and running the ball. So, you know, we've been pleased with his progress this year, and he's been an exceptional leader for us.
Nice throw there from Brockmeyer on the slant to Josh Bart, and Bart picks up 7.5 yards on first down.
Deep crossing route, getting right into the whole area of that zone defense. And Bart, 33 receptions, make it 34 now on the year. One of their top people, 580-some yards.
Bart to the outside on second down, and a long 2 for Brockmeyer. Brockmeyer going to keep it himself. Lots of running room. Brockmeyer across the 40 and upended at the 42-yard line by Will Lanick, but a first down and a burst up the middle for 14 yards.
It's interesting what they're doing with Andrew Rodriguez right now. I don't know if you noticed there, but he lined up at the right guard position. So they're trying to obviously have the defense focus in on him with the fake there to the fullback, and boom, he just takes it himself, gets the first down.
Good first move in terms of that fake. You get it one step by the defense going that way. It's all you need, and he's got pretty good speed to get going. Just a step or two away from busting for a much longer run.
They give up the middle on first down, and Suk takes it to the 44-yard line, 2-yard pickup. And the first carry for Suk, who had 625 yards rushing on the season. Second leading rusher behind Van Pelt. Van Pelt, Suk, and Brockmeyer combined on the year for almost 1,900 yards. So rushing attack was a varied attack, which makes Aurora's offense tough to stop. You never know where it's going to come from. Second down and 8 from the 44. Brockmeyer airing it out, far sideline, leaping up for it, and he could not keep himself in play. Jared Nikavich made a nice catch, but couldn't get the foot in.
Oh, Brockmeyer wound that one up, didn't he, Brent? My goodness. He could put it up there.
Yeah, I'm seeing right now is he's getting plenty of time to throw the ball, and Rodriguez, Howler, Johns, Berthelsen, and Bergmark are doing a great job in protecting him.
Well, let's just really quickly here go through their offensive line. Rodriguez at 315. Holweiler at 230, Johns at 265, Berthelsen at just 205, and then Jamie Bergmark on the other side at tackle, right tackle at 275. That's a big bunch of guys.
Third down and 8 from the 44, 5 wide receiver pattern. Quick throw, quick catch, first down inside the 45 to the 44. Josh Bart, good work to break that initial contact and get the first down for Aurora.
Yak, yards after contact.
Good little turn-in route by Bart here. And watch as Brockmeyer steps right into it. That kid can throw it. I'm pretty impressed with what I'm seeing here.
20 touchdowns on the season.
And just one interception in all of his throws. 130 attempts.
First down and 10 from the Skutt 44-yard line. Brockmeyer with room and a blocker. Ducks to the outside, and Brockmeyer thrown down at the 23-yard line by Tyler Friend. A 21-yard pickup for the quarterback, Tyson Brockmeyer.
Pretty interesting to see how he did that play. Just waved the back, said, come on, go in motion, let's go. And that caught the attention of the defense, maybe thinking speed, play to the edge. And
design quarterback keep, great lead blocking there. Downfield number 81 right there. Jakovic doing a great job sustaining his block. Jared Nikavich.
2 wide to the left, first down and 10 from the 23. Wants the screen, tough pass, and that ball incomplete. Intended for Matthew Grosshands, but a good job by Alex Castor to get in there and break that one up. And we chatted earlier with Matt Turman and asked him, what do you see on the other side of the ball that you're worried about from Aurora?
You know, their defense is stingy. They get to the ball well, and they're hard to move. You know, they have such big size with their offensive and defensive line, that it's hard to get a push on the offensive side, and they get a good push on when they're on offense. So that's one of our concerns, is the size of their line and just overpowering us a little bit.
2nd down and 10 from the 23-yard line. Looking for running room up the middle and down to the 20-yard line. A 3-yard pickup for Nathan Suk.
They lined up Rodriguez again at guard that time. He's been going back and forth, tackle the guard.
He's all over the place. Right guard, right tackle, left tackle. Sometimes they'll fake it like they're going his way, and other times, just like that play right there, they go right behind him.
If I'm a running back, that's where I want to be. I want to be right behind Alex Rodriguez. How about Andrew Rodriguez?
He wishes he was Alex Rodriguez.
Hey, if you're hitting, you want to be behind Alex Rodriguez. 3rd down and 7 from the 20. Brockmeyer steps up. Brockmeyer just tripped up, trying to get a block from Hohweiler, and Hohweiler just could not get his mitts on Turner Mead.
I tell you what, though, guys, you saw the green space over on that far right side.
Yeah.
That's where he needed to go. There was just absolutely all kinds of room over there on that far side. His speed, he can get it up and go, and might have had some luck out in the end zone.
Omaha Skutt doing a great job up front there, just pursuing and keeping the pressure on, in particular, number 50, Chris Loki.
So now it's 4th down and 10, kind of in no man's land here at the 23-yard line, and they're going to go for it. If you punt into the end zone, you get all of 3 yards, but this is a little long for a field goal. Long throw instead, and he had him out there and just missed Suk. Suk broke free of coverage, and if he gets a little more air under that ball, that's a touchdown.
It's easy. Easy money. He seems to be a little bit off right now. Needs to slow it down. He's got plenty of time to throw the ball. Just needs to bring it in a little bit. Got a guy wide open there in Suk.
Like to have it back, obviously. A little adrenaline floating in Tyson Brockmeyer.
Man, 4th and 10, and to get a guy that open right over the middle. Just missing. Matt Turman, a big sigh of relief there after that one fell incomplete. 1st down and 10. Skutt takes over from the 23-yard line, leading 7-0. Dudzik on the roll. Now he's going to tuck and run, and Dudzik works his way out to the 28-yard line, and he's just got a second gear out there. He is a real quick decision maker at the quarterback spot.
Absolutely. Obviously Aurora's defense has got great pursuit, and it's going to be hard to get a one-on-one matchup against Rodriguez there, but you're going to pick and choose your spots, and of course quarterback right there doing a great job to get about 4 yards on the game.
Former Husker defensive coordinator Craig Bohl has offered Christian Dudzik from North Dakota State. A lot of D1 AA schools are interested in Dudzik on their team in the coming years, as the handoff to Joe Vanami, and Vanami close to a 1st down at the 33-yard line.
Well, Dudzik is 5'11" and 180 pounds.
And we asked Matt Turman about Christian Dudzik, and here's what he had to say.
Christian Dudzik is his name, and he's been a 2-year starter for us. Last year he was about 40 yards short throwing the ball at 1,000 a year, and this year he's done that. So he's the one that our offense goes through. He's the one that makes our offense click. 1,100 yards rushing and 1,700 throwing, and 35 or 6 touchdowns combined. So we rely on him to get the offense moving, and he's done a great job for that all year.
Over 1,000 yards rushing and over 1,600 passing on the season. He has been Mr. Everything for this Skutt Catholic squad, and Skutt with a 7-0 lead as we've reached the end of the 1st quarter in the Class B championship game at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. 2nd quarter is next on NET Sports.
Programming made possible by Time Warner Cable, inspiring young people to build the skills they need in science, technology, engineering, and math to become the problem solvers of tomorrow. Time Warner Cable, the power of you.
You're watching NET1 and NET HD.
Thanks to the personal investment of more than 1,800 Sports Partners Club members, NET will deliver over 200 hours of exciting sports action this year. Who else brings you Husker Volleyball, Big Red Wrap-Up, and all of the other outstanding college and high school sports action to every home in Nebraska? NET is Nebraska's home for sports, and sports partners like you make it happen. Log on to netnebraska.org/sportspartners and explore the many benefits of joining the Sports Partners Club.
NET sports coverage of the 2009 NSAA Football Championships are brought to you in part by U.S. Bank, committed to customer service through performances, products, and people. U.S. Bank, proud sponsor of the Nebraska School Activities Association, member FDIC. By Blue Cross Blue Shield of Nebraska, one less thing to worry about. And by Education Quest Foundation, improving access to college through scholarships, grants, and college planning services. Second quarter about to begin from Lincoln, Nebraska, Memorial Stadium, alongside Adrian Fiala, Brendan Stein, Larry Putney. I'm Kevin Kugler. First down and 10 from the 34-yard line for Skutt as we start the second quarter. Skutt with a 7-0 lead. Christian Dudzik trying to find running room, none there. Chase Perry chased him down for a 3-yard loss.
They're really trying to spread him out a little bit. If you look at Omaha Skutt's, their offensive line right now, they've got about a 2 or 3 foot split in between each other, so they're really trying to spread out the defense, but not doing the job there. Aurora doing a great job playing fundamental football, staying tight and coming up with a big play.
Second down 13 from the 31-yard line. 2 wide left, 2 wide right. Joe Vanami to the right of his quarterback, Christian Dudzik. Dudzik, quick screen set up to Jablonski. Jablonski got a block. Jablonski with a move, and Jablonski with a good gain out near the 41-yard line, close to a 10-yard pickup on the play.
Block came from number 3, Spencer Mashing, and a good block it was. Just that little bubble screen out there, as you said, Kevin, and you just try to get a mistake out there in the flank and make it work here. Watch the block, number 3, Mashing right there. Terrific block. And then headed upfield and tried to make another miss, or get another miss or 2 and even more yardage, but sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Third down and 3 from the 41-yard line. Play fake. Dudzik with time. Now the pocket collapses. Dudzik go with a block. He's got the first down. Dudzik across midfield and into Aurora territory and taken on the tackler. He lowered the boom on Josh Bart at the 48.
We talked earlier about his size at 5'11" and 180 pounds. Not the biggest of football players that you're going to look at, but a lot of heart, a lot of toughness, a lot of mental toughness. As you see it again there, everything covered up. So let's go.
Tremendous amount of confidence, obviously, getting it done with his legs. Throughout the season, I'm sure he's had plenty of opportunities and he's taken full advantage of it.
Good block, Corey Stringer on that block on that run by Dudzik.
From the 48, first down and 10, 2 wide left, 2 wide right. Dudzik's in the gun. 7-0 Skyhawks. And Dudzik, nice little move. And Dudzik, great balance after making that move to keep himself on his feet and keep his momentum going forward. And Randy Hubert, the head coach of Aurora, he was worried about Christian Dudzik. He talked a little bit about some of the concerns he had with this Skutt squad.
Very athletic and excellent team speed and well coached. They're just solid on both sides of the ball, solid in special teams. They're very deserving of being in this game today.
That was a very athletic play that you saw out of Christian Dudzik, and that's some of the athleticism that Coach Hubert was concerned about coming into this game.
Kind of a Walter Payton move where you just give him a leg and take it back right quick.
Second and 2, quick screen, and it's picked off. Oh, what an interception, and nobody to stop Jacob Schaefer. He will score.
It's the one thing about that play, and we've seen it over and over the last 2 years with some football that's been played on a regular basis. That bubble screen is difficult. It's designed, obviously, to put a guy one-on-one on the outside there, and if it's telegraphed, that defense can jump all over it just like they did right there for 6.
Saw it happen in Norman, Oklahoma a couple of years ago, and great job by Schaefer. His 3rd interception on the year, but the antenna were up. Look at this for me.
Only the 2nd pick thrown this year by Christian Dudzik.
I have never seen this in my whole entire football career. Look at this.
Tyson Brockmeyer, one would assume, is going to kick an extra point.
What is that?
Instead, they're going to go for 2, and they throw it to the left side, and no two-point conversion for Austin Smith, who was on the receiving end of that play, and so Skutt holds the lead.
You ever seen that, Brent?
I've never seen that.
And then one guy lined up backwards down there. That's unbelievable.
I tell you what, Hubert's got quite a bit of confidence in big number 75 throwing that ball out there.
Well, there is the interception and the return by Jacob Schaefer, and once he picked it, he had no one anywhere near him. Great anticipation right in front of Jacob Smith, and Schaefer was gone.
Just wave bye-bye when that happens.
The thing about it is they've gone to that play about 4 or 5 times now. And so obviously I think that's been scratched from the game plan.
Well, you know, he threw the ball a little bit tighter, more towards the line of scrimmage that time than before, and that helped a little bit, but a lot more left in the ballgame.
It's time now for our NSAA championship trivia. Be the first person to email us at sports@netnebraska.org with the correct answer, and you'll win an NET Sports Athletic Gray t-shirt, size extra large, and a Big Red Wrap-Up logo cap. Our question: which Class B team holds the record for most points scored in an NSAA playoff game? First correct email to sports@netnebraska.org will win the NET Sports t-shirt and Big Red Wrap-Up logo cap. And remember, only one winner per household during the 2009 championships. As we watch that strange extra point attempt, the 2-point conversion try again. Boy, was that odd.
Yeah, I don't quite understand. If they line up in it and they've got the strength of their defense in front of you, you better get out of it. I think hopefully what they were looking for was to probably spread out that defense. But when they keep the strength of it there, I think that's going to work 9 out of 10 times.
And then to have it sit there for so long, I mean, I would think you'd want to run that pretty quick, but incredible. That's one for the book right there.
We've seen 2 interesting fakes tonight by Aurora. The fake punt that led to a short field that Skutt turned into a touchdown, and now the fake extra point that led to Aurora still trailing by 1. Now the short kick picked up by the up man for Skutt and taken to the 34-yard line. That was Michael Van Cat who was able to snare it, keep it in front of him, and Skutt will start at the 35-yard line.
A little bit more, a little bit less than a little pooch kick. It was almost like he was the design quick onside, trying to get a little bit of action with that ball bouncing up in the air.
Seen a little bit of everything in this first half from Aurora so far.
Either that or he just missed it. One of the two.
First down and 10 from the 35. Corey Stringer, the back at the top of the I. Kyle Picorni, the fullback. And 1st and 10 from the 35. Toss play. Stringer trying to find room. There is some, and he's across the 40 to the 41-yard line.
I'll take that all day long. A gain of 6 on 1st down. That is exactly what you want as an offensive coach.
Makes 2nd down and 3rd down a lot easier, doesn't it?
A lot more manageable.
Get it on a relatively simple toss play.
Keep it simple. Until they stop it, that's what you got to do. Just keep going back to it. Hopefully they don't go back to that bubble screen.
It's one you may not go. Well, they stopped that. So the Brendan Stye advice column says don't go to that anymore. 2nd down and 4 from the 41. Dudzik. And flags fly. A little bit of movement. Going to cost Skutt 5 yards. Be the 2nd penalty of the night on Skutt. Each team has been penalized twice for 20 yards.
You talk about the bubble screen play and whatnot, guys. That's why it's coming upon the quarterback to do that pre-snap read and make sure you're convinced that it's going to work. And I still think he maybe drifted that ball a little bit more toward the line of scrimmage than he wanted. But just a great play though by Schaefer to pick it off and go.
Convinced it worked, you take a look out there. If the defender's playing on like an oppressed defense, or if he's playing off.
Yeah, then you check off and go to something else.
2nd down and 9 from the 36. So Dudzik will drop back into the gun after the 5-yard penalty. And Dudzik, a little play fake, fakes the screen, going deep down the near sideline for Jablonski, and Jablonski cannot make the play. Josh Bart there on the coverage, and it was good coverage by Bart.
You'd like to see the receiver run the route. You see it again. We'll tell you what I'm talking about here. Good pump fake there, kind of gets the attention going the other way. Watch the arms here. Well, it wasn't as bad as what I thought.
Looking for the big play. I think coming into the game, Skutt set a record. Dudzik to Jacob Smith in the first round there for a 93-yard touchdown pass. You know, of course, big plays are huge.
Talking about the arms going out, and sometimes the receivers put the arms out too quick, and it takes them off their route, takes their balance away.
They're down to 9, empty backfield. Dudzik firing over the middle, and that's intercepted. Gross hands with the pick. Will he take it back for 6? He is stopped at the 33-yard line. Miles Jablonski. How about this? Dudzik only 1 pick all year, and he's thrown 2 in the first half tonight.
Yeah, he threw 153 passes prior to this game at 1 pick. And what's he thrown tonight so far? 7? And 2 picks.
Boy. Aurora now with a chance with a short field to take the lead.
Coming into the game, Aurora is plus 16 in turnovers. It's telling you a lot. They're playing good football.
We've got an aggressive defense to get after you.
First down. Brockmeyer fakes the pass. Brockmeyer able to keep moving forward and get 2 yards on a play that looked like it was going nowhere, and it's 2nd and 8.
Joe Vaname coming in on the play on some pressure. Vaname from his linebacker spot, just not sure what happened there. He had an opportunity to get after the quarterback there, but just went right by him.
Under 8 minutes remaining in this first half. 7-6, Skutt by 1. 2nd and 8 from the 31-yard line. And on the motion, Van Pelt. And Van Pelt tripped up from behind at the 29-yard line. Good job pursuing Van Pelt with Turner Mead at the end of the play and John Keck at the beginning.
You know, as for as good and big as Andrew Rodriguez is, the one thing he's got to work on with his game is keeping that head up and not being too top heavy on that play. You'll see he ends up getting beat to the outside because he puts his head down, he gets too heavy, and he falls down, and of course the play doesn't go anywhere.
3rd down and 6 from the 29. Rodriguez now on that left side of the line. Brockmeyer throwing to the left side, a high pass, and it's incomplete. He had Nikavich open at the 15-yard line and just missed him, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, deep turn in out there, breaking it right off into that seam zone, and just unfortunate the ball was too high, guys.
Yeah, again,
it's there. The play was there. The corner was taking the flare man, and the safety was coming over to cover the that pass, but again, the play was too high, ball too high.
So it's 4th down, and Aurora once again in no man's land. They're going to go for it from the 29-yard line. 4th and 6 from the 29. 3 wide left, 2 wide right, empty backfield. Brockmeyer in the shotgun. On 4th down, sets, throws. This time it's caught at the 19-yard line. Nikavich paid a big price with the hit, but he hung on and got the first down.
Pretty much the same play, except one big difference. The ball was there this time.
A little lower. He still had to jump up for it, though.
But he got to it. At least he gave him an opportunity to catch the football.
And right now, Aurora's offensive line, when they're dropping back to throw the ball, he's got plenty of time to throw. So he just needs to settle down a little bit, find those open receivers, bring the ball into their chest, and convert those long pass plays.
On the 20, first down. On the keep, Brockmeyer. Brockmeyer with a block. He's going to score. Brockmeyer gives Aurora the lead.
Once again, a quarterback using his feet, having the ability to utilize his blockers out in front of him, making a couple moves, finding the end zone.
It was Nikavich who caught that last ball. It was Nikavich downfield making the block that set up the touchdown by Brockmeyer. And there's that
Here we go again. To the right.
Well, will Brockmeyer kick it? Will they run the fake again? What will they do out of this weird formation? You see Austin Smith looking back, and now they'll shift into a regular extra point.
Right. So that the strength of the defense doesn't move. Yeah, that's what they should have done the last time. Good move.
So now Brockmeyer, who's 33 of 41 on extra points this year, will kick the point. And a very good kick by Brockmeyer gives Aurora the 13-7 lead. So Aurora has scored 13 unanswered on plays like this.
Just a lot of nifty footwork right there. Good block at backside, and there's Nikavich making the key block on the play. Rodriguez running his guy out of the way. And I think that was Joshua Barton that made that initial second level block, and there it is. Easy from that point.
Great read by Brockmeyer.
13-7, Aurora leading with 6:40 remaining in the first half. This December, NET Television presents Sports in Society More Than Games. This roundtable discussion features national sports historians and authors discussing college spending, sports as a business, the influence of media, plus gender and race issues. Don't miss NET's production of Sports in Society More Than Games, Thursday, December 10th at 9 Central on NET1. 13-7, Huskies with the lead. They'll kick off now. And Skutt's going to have to play from behind. As back deep for Skutt is Jacob Smith. Remember last time Aurora kicked short. We've seen some interesting things in the Huskies kicking game tonight.
To say the least. Some trickery here and there. I don't know necessarily if I'm a coach if I do that all the time, but definitely trying to see how they react. Once again, another pooch.
Short kick taken from the 20-yard line across the 30-yard line. Corey Stringer out to the 37 before he is stacked up. And Skutt will start their first down and 10. And Matt Turman, a 12-0 squad, got some strengths, and he told us what they were early.
Christian has thrown the ball real well for us, but we also have some real big play receivers in Miles Jablonski and Jacob Smith, Tyler Friend. You know, Jacob's over 600 yards receiving, and Miles is right at 500. And you know, they do a great job and make turn the short passes into the long ones. And you know, our running back is close to 700-800 yards and runs real hard and is a shifty kid. And you know, we just have a good mix and a good balance. It's hard to key on one thing.
And a great play up front by the big man, Andrew Rodriguez. Took the fullback and buried Joe Vanami back at the 36-yard line, a loss of 1.
And you'd expect him to do that on every single play. The kid is just tremendous with his ability to get his hands in the right position, leverage, and use his size to overpower guys. You know, he's done it for the last 2 years, and I'm sure he's going to keep doing it at the next level as he has been highly touted and going to Nebraska as a commit.
Corey Holman trying to block Rodriguez there, but to no avail.
2nd and 11. Dudzik to throw. Outside. Looking for blockers. Got some. Jablonski out of bounds near the 45-yard line. And that'll leave Skutt about 2 yards short.
That's an attempted but completed screen again. But the difference on the play, 2 blockers out there now. See him up screen there. And a very good throw, and then let's head it upfield. But 2 blockers available on that play as opposed to the other play, just 1 there.
And the defense was playing off on that as well.
3rd down and 3 from the 44-yard line, and Matt Turman's going to take a timeout and talk with his quarterback and crew on this 3rd and 3 with 5:43 remaining in the first half. First timeout used by Omaha Skutt to talk about this 3rd down and 3 play. Skyhawks trying to bounce back from 13 straight scored by Aurora. Well, if you're tuning in tonight and thinking, my gosh, did I miss Big Red Wrap-Up? No, you didn't. It was not on tonight because we've got the Class B championship game, but we've got Big Red Wrap-Up for you tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, live show. We'll look back to last Saturday's game against K-State, plus we'll look ahead to Colorado and see what Nebraska can expect from the Buffaloes. Join us for Big Red Wrap-Up at a special time this week, tomorrow night, 7 Central on NET1 and NET HD.
You know how special you guys are?
Well, very, but
I'm here tonight.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
Today is my son's 10th birthday. He broke the single digits, but I am here with you guys.
Well, we appreciate that. Happy birthday.
What's his name is Bryce. And
Bryce. Happy birthday, Bryce. You're 10 years. He's 10 years old.
10 years old. Yep.
Man. Bryce, you're 10 now, so you'll learn that you're old enough to take care of things yourself. Your dad can come to work.
That's it. Yep.
3 years, you'll hit that teen door.
Uh-oh.
Oops. That's great.
I've already got one of those.
3rd down and 3 from the 44-yard line. And on the move, Dudzik Dudzik turns it upfield, and he's got the first down. All the way down to the Aurora 46-yard line. A great run of 10 yards.
You like what they do on the offensive line, Brenda, but you got to. This kid is really athletic. We talked earlier about it. Watch it here.
He just has the ability to make people miss, you know, and for a defense, it's so frustrating because you think you've got him, you've got good pursuit, and all of a sudden he makes a play.
There it is right there again as he avoids 2 or 3 people and just gets the ball upfield north and south.
It really has running back vision.
It's down at 10 for Skutt, down 6 with 5:15 remaining in the first half. Stringer, not much running room there. A fumble on the play. Who's got that football?
Nice disruption by Miles Berthelsen, number 61 there, coming in from the backside.
Stringer able to keep a handle on that football. As we look at the officials tonight for this Class B championship game, Randy Schnackenberg is your referee. And we've seen him and heard him tonight. Vernon Brakefield, the umpire. Kent Holm, the linesman. Aaron Adams, the line judge. Russell Gray is the back judge, and Rick Stromer is the red hat. And Bob Coco, who was supposed to be the umpire for tonight's game, tore his Achilles. Couldn't be a part of the crew, so we certainly wish Bob a speedy recovery and hope to see him back out here on the field next year for the championship games. 2nd and 9 from the 45-yard line. Play fake. Dudzik gets away from pressure. Gets a block. Dudzik. First down inside the 35-yard line to the 33.
That's what I'm talking about, the frustration as a defender. You've got the guy, you've got him sacked. Jamie Burkmark's got a beat on him. Dudzik uses his legs, finds some guys downfield to make some blocks for him, and just makes another play with his legs.
He sets up. Watch what happens to Chase Perry on this play right here. He's going to set him up. He's going to slow his body down a little bit, set him up a little bit here. Right there, slows it down, and then accelerates. Tremendous ability to do that kind of thing.
4 minutes remaining first half. Skutt driving. Look at the numbers already for Dudzik. Those 2 interceptions, though, glaring errors on the part of Dudzik. From the 33, toss play. Stringer to the outside. Stringer inside the 30 down to the 25-yard line where Josh Bart makes the stop. Another big gain on the play of 8 yards for Corey Stringer, and first down's been a real good down tonight, Brendan, for this Skutt squad.
Really good, and coming in, I would think, you know, as an offensive unit with Skutt, you would want to get out to the perimeter. When they first started off, they were really challenging them inside. Now they're taking advantage of that perimeter.
Stringer just trying to get speed, trying to get to the edge.
Stringing it out.
You bet. A few yards on the play.
2nd down and 2 from the 25. Dudzik pumps. Going for it all. Going for the end zone. The pass is caught for the touchdown. Jacob Smith, amidst 2 defenders, ties the game with the grab.
What a beautiful throw by Dudzik. First setting back, checks off his receiver, then finds this guy in the end zone there. That was just an absolute wonderful throw and catch.
Double coverage. Joshua Bart back there along with Jacob Schaefer, and somehow the ball gets through and by them and in there for a touchdown. And great effort by everybody on that play, but wonderful pitch and catch.
And now Turner Mead will try to give Skutt the lead. Remember, Aurora went for 2 on a fake and missed it, so that's why we're on the odd point, and Skutt has now regained the lead in this Class B championship on this play.
That's good protection, kind of a play action fake, checks off the receiver and finds it once again right down there in the end zone for 6.
14-13, Skutt back in front with 3:01 remaining in the ball game, and had a very entertaining and very interesting first half tonight between these 2 teams. Let's check in downstairs with Larry.
Well, thanks, Kevin. You know, Jacob Smith moved to Omaha just 2 years ago before his junior season last year. Really just kind of got acclimated to the program at Skutt. Didn't really do much on the field. And this year, he's really begun to shine for Coach Turman. Strangely or oddly enough, before he moved to Omaha, he played for Coach Turman's father, Tim Turman, at Wahoo Newman. So he's now played for father and son. He played for Wahoo Newman as a sophomore and now shining as a senior on the field for Skutt.
Not many good chances that will happen in the normal scheme of things, but Jacob Smith having it happen and capitalizing on the whole situation. That incredible catch between the two defenders.
Coach Turman, that's when I say that, Matt and I played together back in the 90s, and he was a tremendous quarterback for us there, and he's just done an absolute wonderful job for Skutt here as of late.
If Jacob can get another year of eligibility, guys, he'll go play for Set Turman.
Well, and Newman lost that game he played in 2 years ago as the kickoff goes out of bounds, so Aurora's going to have good opportunity here. But Newman lost that game in overtime to Pierce 2 years ago, 34-28. So Smith hoping he's not on the short end of another state championship stick as he goes here for Skutt. Coming up at halftime, we're going to have the chance to chat with Dr. Jim Tenneper, the man who's the head of the NSAA. Plus, we celebrate some believers and achievers. And we'll look at highlights and stats from the first half. That's all coming up at the half.
Yeah, on that kickoff there, I think Turner Mead would want that one back. Obviously, not intended to go out of bounds there.
From the 35, first down and 10. Brockmeyer has been slippery tonight as well, but cannot find much running room that time. To the 37 is all. A guy whose name we've called a lot tonight, Turner Mead, in there on the stop after just a 1.5 yard pickup.
Brockmeyer's 7 carries, 62 yards on the night, showing a lot of elusiveness, as you said, Kevin. Yeah. A lot of control, body control. He and Dudzik both excellent athletes.
Like Turner making up for that kick that he had. No.
Always a chance for redemption, it seems, in this game. 2nd and 9 from the 36. Brockmeyer on the pitch. Thanks a lot, says Van Pelt, who goes back the other way, uses the referee as a shield. He's going the wrong direction all the way back at the 17-yard line. The ball popped out at the end of the play, but he was down, and boy, was he down in the arms of Alex Castor. And that play had nowhere to go from the very beginning all the way back to the 18-yard line.
It's a lesson in how to give up 22 yards, loss. We talk about north and south runners, and you want to try to limit that. As soon as you realize you got a problem, it's better just to either try to get north and south or just go down.
In the last 2 plays, the thing that's impressing me with Skutt right now, and as a defensive coach, the one thing you preach is all 11 guys at the ball. You see all their jerseys, all those white jerseys pursuing and just doing a great job.
3rd down and 27. Brockmeyer steps up, in trouble. Brockmeyer, down he goes. At the 16-yard line, Corey Stringer got him, and Skutt now will take time out with 1:24 to play in the half.
Blitz pressure that time by the defense you talked about, Brennan. It just created a collapsing pocket is what it created, and it took Brockmeyer a while just to realize where to go from there, but it finally collapsed totally, and that was it.
Yeah, I think Turman, what a great call. Defensive coaches down there for Skutt, bringing the blitz. Of course, Corey Stringer coming with the pressure and then turning around and making the play after he missed him initially.
Well, we'd love to hear from you. Send us an email. Let us know what you think about NET's coverage of the NSAA High School Championships. The email address is sports@netnebraska.org. By writing us, you'll also let our sponsors know you're watching. If you value statewide NET television coverage of the NSAA Championships, just shoot us an email, sports@netnebraska.org. And thanks so much for watching the NSAA Football Championships exclusively on NET, NET HD, and on the web at netnebraska.org. NET Sports is Nebraska's home for sports. And Greg Webush, or Wybush, I apologize, Greg, says just wanted to send a quick thanks your way for broadcasting the games. I'm a college student, and I usually go on the weekend to watch, but I have classes now. As that punt trickles dead at about the 47-yard line. I'm still able to watch them on NET. Everybody's doing a great job. The announcing's fantastic. The work by the cameramen and producers has made for a very pleasurable viewing experience. Keep up the good work. From Syracuse, Nebraska. Thanks, Greg.
You bet. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate it.
Pretty good directional punt right there by Tyson Brockmeyer. An unfortunate bounce he got, but obviously placing it over there, trying to keep it away from their threat.
And now Skutt will look at, they have 1:16 left here. There is time to try to do some things to get themselves back in the end zone. See if the hurry-up offense for Coach Turman and his bunch is ready to go here.
Good field position.
Yep.
At the 46, got a good quarterback in Christian Dudzik. 1 timeout in your pocket as well. 1:16 to work with. Dudzik, play fake, pressure, in trouble. Now the field's open on the other side. Dudzik sets, going deep into double coverage for Smith, and the pass is tipped, and it's incomplete. Boy, tough play down there to get that ball into Smith, and fortunate that Schaefer and Grosshans weren't able to pick that one off.
Trying to duplicate that last touchdown, guys. He threw it into double coverage that time, and it was successful.
Well, it looked like to me that it was kind of a botched play. What happened initially is he wanted to dump it off right underneath to his fullback, turned it into something that really wasn't there. Got to be careful. 2 defenders on one receiver there, possible interception.
2nd down and 10. 3 receivers drift out to the right of Christian Dudzik on 2nd and 10 with 1:05 remaining in this first half. Dudzik on the roll. Throws on the run to the short man at the 35, inside the 30, down inside the 25, and Corey Stringer at the 23-yard line with a first down and a big gain. They'll mark him at the 24, a pickup of 22.
Stringer wide open.
Picking up Stringer, he was out there leading that play and then flaring down that sideline, and nice pitch there by Dudzik right into the basket.
And a whistle and a timeout taken by Aurora. One of their 2 remaining timeouts, and it comes with 53 seconds remaining in this first half, and Aurora trying to regroup and keep this as a 1-point game.
I'll tell you, Skutt's offense right there, what they tried to do is they tried to keep that linebacker in with a little play action fake, held him for a little bit, and that's what created Corey being wide open for a split second there, giving him a big game.
Sunday on NET television, remember the scent of warm apple pie, cookies cooling on the counter, or maybe Adrian's favorite dish, liver and onions. The smells whisk us back to precious times with family and friends. These fond memories are captured in NET Television's The Recipe Box. Cooks across Nebraska shared family favorites, and NET Television picked the best and traveled across the state to whip up homemade dishes and hear the stories that make them special. Tempt your taste buds with NET Television's The Recipe Box, Sunday night at 7 Central on NET1 and NET HD. Our producer Jim Carmichael, who's got a birthday on Thursday, by the way, and happy birthday to him.
Jim. And how did you know that about liver and onions?
He loves liver and onions.
Oh, man.
1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. Dudzik on the run. Dudzik inside the 15 and just nudged the ball across the 15. And they'll mark it right there with 40 seconds to play.
Skutt going right back to the same exact play, just the opposite side. Obviously a little more difficult for a right-handed quarterback to go to his left on the play action. But same intention there, to try to suck in those linebackers, create some receiver wide open.
2nd down and a yard. 24 seconds to go. Dudzik throws, bullet caught at the 7-yard line. They'll mark him at the 8. And a terrific grab on a hot shot by Miles Jablonski. What a catch on the throw from Dudzik.
Well, he's stepping right into his throw. You love to see that. All of the fundamentals to execute a properly thrown pass are being shown by Dudzik. They'll stop the clock, move the chains.
And now they hurry up to the line again. Dudzik spikes the football to stop the clock with 16 seconds to go. It'll be 2nd down from the 8-yard line.
Coming into the game, Turman's biggest concern was how big Aurora was on both the offense and defensive line. Right now, you got to take your hat off to how well Skutt offensive line is playing and kind of neutralizing and giving, obviously, the quarterback Dudzik some time to throw the ball and create some holes there for him as well in the running game.
2nd down and goal from the 8-yard line. And if you'd like a DVD of this game or any of the NSAA football or volleyball championship games, log on to netnebraska.org/sports or call 1-800-868-1868. $19.95 plus shipping and handling. 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. 3 receivers to the right of the line. Dudzik in the shotgun on 2nd down. Dudzik on the roll. Comes back to his left. Dudzik with some running room. Dudzik is in for the touchdown.
And once again, the thing about Skutt, what they do, Adrian, is they really like to line their linemen up 2 and 3 yards wider than you normally see in their stance. And what that does to the defense is it spreads them out a little bit, and it gives the offense of Skutt the ability to make plays when when it breaks down. Now you've got the ability to make some plays, whether it's backside or cutting it up through the middle.
Here's Turner Mead to try to give the Skyhawks an 8-point lead with 9 seconds left in the half.
Well, that Dudzik speed and quickness accounted for that play right there. Here's a kick.
And the kick is good. by Turner Mead. So it was the play and the legs of Christian Dudzik.
He's
got the Skyhawks on the board.
He's looking to try to get that ball over the side where the trips receivers were, but a little move there and just barely gets that ball across the plane. That's all you need to do.
Speed kills.
That's it right here.
And the other thing that speed does is it wears you out. You know, if you've got an offensive unit that has a lot of speed, especially at the quarterback position, a guy who can make plays with his feet, it's going to wear out that defense, because all night long what they're going to be doing is they're going to be trying to chase him down. The adjustments that you have to make, as you well know, Kevin, is at halftime, now you've got to find a guy who's going to be spying in on Dudzik to kind of slow him down in the second half.
12 carries, 69 yards, 2 touchdowns for Dudzik today on the ground. He is 6 for 12 passing, 85 yards and 2 interceptions. Those picks, one of which went for a touchdown. But Aurora took the lead earlier, and they have since watched Skutt come back with back-to-back touchdowns. Down 13-7, now up 21-13.
We talked about it being a good fight, and it has been a good fight so far. And I don't think the second half's going to disappoint either, the way these two teams are going at it.
There's a high sky pooch kick taken by the up man at the 30-yard line. What a hit at the 32. Man, oh man, is Kyle Ehlers going to field that one, delivered strongly by Joe Vanami.
Looked like a Skutt tsunami just rolled into town right there. Took the beach out. Watch this.
Skutt mizzle.
Oh. Combo there. Vanami in there also helped out from Nick Meyer. Either way, Ehlers felt the pain.
That's when you know you're playing football, fellas.
They're checking Ehlers out on the sideline. That should surprise no one. And Brockmeyer's just going to take a knee, and Aurora's going to get out of here down 21-13. Skutt's energized. Aurora a little deflated. Aurora took the lead. Skutt came roaring back with back-to-back touchdowns to take the 21-13 lead into the break in this Class B state championship game.
Their backs against the wall. They respond and get the job done. Does Omaha Skutt. A lot of spark going into that locker room. They'll be feeling good in that locker room. And talking about how's going to go.
Let's go downstairs and check in with Larry.
Well, Coach, do you have to make changes to account for Dudzik?
Well, that kid's just a fantastic athlete. Right now, we got to really stay home on the backside better than we are right now. And we're just going to have to make plays against that fella. He's a good one.
On the positive, you've turned 2 turnovers into points.
That's what we need. We got to keep getting turnovers and make plays on offense and make plays on defense and find a way to stop the quarterback.
Randy, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Aurora going in with some work to do, down 21-13 in the Class B state championship to the Omaha Skutt Catholic Skyhawks. Much more from Lincoln's Memorial Stadium in a moment.
Soy biodiesel from Nebraska soybeans lowers our dependence on foreign oil. It has properties that reduce engine wear, and it burns without harmfully polluting the atmosphere. The Nebraska Soybean Board encourages the use of soy biodiesel.
Programming made possible by Time Warner Cable, supporting local educators by providing free cable connections to public, private, and parochial schools in our area. Time Warner Cable, the power of you.
Programming provided by Nebraska Public Power District.
My job with Nebraska Public Power District takes me to new heights, offers me challenging experiences. Like me, the utility cares about Nebraska. I go home at night knowing that what I do makes a difference. To put it simply, I am where I want to be.
Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us. Together with your local public power utility.
For 23 years, America was entertained by Ed Sullivan.
Live from New York, Ed Sullivan.
Saturday night at 8 Central Time on NET1.
Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night out.
NET Sports coverage of the 2009 NSAA Football Championships are brought to you in part by the Nebraska Public Power District, generating electricity with a balanced mix of energy resources, including wind. By the Nebraska Soybean Board, encouraging the use of renewable biodiesel fuels for a healthier environment. For information, nebraskasoybeans.org. And by Time Warner Cable, providing cable, internet, and digital phone service for your home or your business. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska. We are at halftime of the Class B State High School Football Championship football game. Omaha Skutt with a 21-13 lead over Aurora. Each team has had a lead. Lots of comebacks, lots of excitement in this first half here in Lincoln. Happy to be joined by Dr. Jim Teneper of the NSAA. And this is the first year that we've seen 3 days condensed to 2 for the state football finals. What's your evaluation so far?
Well, I kind of like 2 days of state football finals, but we're going to have to evaluate it and determine, attendance-wise, it appears that our attendance is down a bit. I don't know if that has to do with the matchups or whether that has to do with the fact that we are on 2 school nights. We are on Thanksgiving week. Weather has not been a factor. I mean, we've had some chilly and windy temperatures, but, from a perspective of moisture, we haven't had snow, we really haven't had rain to speak of. So we are going to have to evaluate that. I do think that it's worked out for us. Those of you that have to talk the whole day long, I'm not sure how that goes, but it has been good from the perspective of the logistics, the format. That's gone pretty well for us, I think.
Aiden and I coated our vocal cords with aluminum beforehand. We're in good shape for this one. So you've got the 2 days now. I assume, though, everybody still loves the Memorial Stadium atmosphere, loves coming to Lincoln for these games.
Well, I don't know that I've ever spoken to a football player that didn't really enjoy their time here at Memorial Stadium. And that's been the big constant as far as our decision to move this to the Monday-Tuesday. As you're aware, Nebraska had a ball game last Saturday. Last weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, would have been our traditional days for the football playoffs because the television network was in here on Wednesday already, stringing cable and whatnot for the Husker game on Saturday. We were unable to keep our same dates, and so that's the reason that we moved to the Monday-Tuesday of this week. Having said that, there are some things that our board's going to have to take a look at. Is the impact of this being Thanksgiving week? Is the impact of this being 2 school days at the start of that week? Is that a problem? There are things we're going to have to take a look at in that regard. But overall, I think from a spectator perspective, it's been great. So, the board has got some deliberation to do there, but we've been very pleased.
One of the things that I know you always stress, the NSAA stresses in every sport, is sportsmanship among all high school athletes and all high school competitors. It's been something you've stressed for many years. What kind of initiatives are you employing to see sportsmanship continue to rise?
Well, Kevin, we are this year for the first time initiating what we're calling the Farmers School Sportsmanship Award. Farmers Insurance Group has come on as a corporate partner to sponsor that program. It is a program that there will be criteria set up. I mean, one of the basic criteria is that a school must develop a school sportsmanship policy that they either include in their student handbooks, their activity handbooks, or prominently display in their schools. And then there are several other criteria that they can work toward with regard to local sportsmanship initiatives within their school. Schools that meet certain criteria then can, through an evaluative process, determine whether they've met that criteria. And those schools that are successful will be recognized with a banner that will be suitable for display in their school, in their gymnasium, wherever. And we've always said sportsmanship is not a sometimes thing. It's something that you've got to work on a continual basis. About 9 years ago, we started with a sportsmanship sit-out program for student athletes and coaches who were ejected for unsporting reasons. That has been effective, but it's not been as effective as we would have liked. We've really done nothing to address the spectators, the adult and student spectators. We're hopeful that schools can team with us with this Farmers School Sportsmanship Award to maybe help us address some of those unsavory things that happen in some of our ball games.
Well, along with sportsmanship, one of the things that we're celebrating here tonight, and you'll get the chance to see it in just a little bit, believers and achievers. It's one of the great moments of the state high school football championships. Not only do we get to celebrate great football players on the field, but we get to celebrate some terrific students who are doing some wonderful things in their school and in their community.
You're absolutely right. U.S. Bank is our premier corporate partner. U.S. Bank has partnered with us for a number of years now in sponsoring the Believers and Achievers program. Student athletes, student activities participants across the state can be nominated for the award. That award is based upon, obviously, participation in NSAA activities, but it's also predicated upon their academic achievement, and it's also based upon school leadership and community involvement. And each year we have somewhere around 300 students who are nominated for that award. 48 students are selected. Of those 48 students, 8 of those then are recognized with scholarships at the end of the year. It's a great program. We've got some awfully fine kids who participate as nominees and also those that are selected. For all practical purposes, we see those people as probably being the leaders of tomorrow in this state. We hope that they stick around in Nebraska because some really great people, and we appreciate U.S. Bank's involvement in that.
Dr. Tittifer, we appreciate your help, as always, during this busy time of the sports season. Thanks so much for all you do.
We appreciate you, too. Thank you.
Dr. Jim Tittifer of the NSAA. We're at halftime, the Class B State High School Football Championships. Skutt leading Aurora 21-13.
Programming made possible by Time Warner Cable, inspiring young people to build the skills they need in science, technology, engineering, and math to become the problem solvers of tomorrow. Time Warner Cable, the power of you.
Soy biodiesel from Nebraska soybeans lowers our dependence on foreign oil. It has properties that reduce engine wear. And it burns without harmfully polluting the atmosphere. The Nebraska Soybean Board encourages the use of soy biodiesel.
Always there when the day begins. And we exist to generate your power. Deliver it safely and answer your call. We are always there through snow and storm. We reconnect lives and make things brighter for your family and ours. Nebraska Public Power District. Always there when you need us. Together with your local public power utility.
Along with my partner Adrian Fiala, I'm Kevin Kugler, inviting you to join us for Big Red Wrap-Up this week on Wednesday.
Kevin will recap the K-State-Nebraska game with former Husker and my broadcast partner, Matt Davis.
Join us next Wednesday for Big Red Wrap-Up right here on NET, Nebraska's home for sports.
Hello, I'm Jeff Beckman. Your legacy can live on in NET sports programming when you arrange a generous estate gift to the NET Sports Endowment. Call me today to arrange your gift to the NET Sports Endowment Fund.
NET sports coverage of the 2009 NSAA Football Championships are brought to you in part by the Nebraska Public Power District. Always there when you need us, together with your local public power utility. By the Nebraska Soybean Board, encouraging the use of renewable biodiesel fuels for a healthier environment. For information, nebraskasoybeans.org. And by Time Warner Cable, providing coverage of local high school sporting events and activities on Nebraska On Demand, Channel 101. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. We're at halftime of the Class B State High School Football Championship. Omaha Skutt leading Aurora 21-13. And now to introduce you to some believers and achievers. Here's our public address announcer, Doc Weiner.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special halftime presentation this evening. Believers and Achievers is a statewide program designed by U.S. Bank and the NSAA to give recognition to Nebraska's future leaders. we have 11 Nebraska high school seniors who have demonstrated academic excellence and commitment to good citizenship. For their involvement in school and community service projects, U.S. Bank and the NSAA would like to honor the believers and achievers who are with us tonight. Presenting the Believer and Achiever Awards are U.S. Bank Representative Jenny Hess and NSAA Board of Control member Max Kroger of the Ord Public Schools. Tonight's honorees are John Bader of Centennial High School. John is a 4.0 student who participates in cross-country, wrestling, track and field, play production, and music. He has earned NSAA Academic All-State Honors in cross-country, wrestling, and track and field, and is a 3-time state wrestling qualifier. John has also earned superior ratings as a trombonist at the NSAA District Music Contests. Ladies and gentlemen, John Bader. Caitlin Drummy of Papillion La Vista High School. Caitlin carries a 3.83 grade point average while participating in play production, speech, and music. She has received superior ratings as a cast member at the 2007 and 2008 NSAA District Play Production Championships and placed 6th in drama at the 2009 NSAA Class A State Speech Championships. Caitlin also earned 2009 NSAA Academic All-State Honors in Music. Ladies and gentlemen, Caitlin Drummy. Next is Artie Gall of Takema Herman High School. Artie is a 3.94 student who participates in football, basketball, golf, play production, speech, and music. He has earned NSAA Academic All-State Honors in football and golf and was a member of the 2008 NSAA Class C Boys State Golf Qualifying Team. Artie has also earned an Outstanding Performer Award at the NSAA District Play Production Championships. Ladies and gentlemen, Artie Gall. Charity Harlan of Walt Hill High School. Charity carries a 3.81 GPA while participating in volleyball, basketball, track and field, and speech. She is a 3-sport letter winner who has received superior ratings at the NSAA District Speech Contest. Charity is also a member of the Student Council, National Honor Society, and Quiz Bowl team. Ladies and gentlemen, Charity Harlan. Next is Taylor Jansen of Heartland High School. Taylor is a straight-A student who participates in volleyball, basketball, track and field, play production, and music. She has earned NSAA Academic All-State Honors in volleyball and track and was the 2009 NSAA Class C State Champion in the pole vault. Taylor also excels in music and has received superior ratings in 6 different events at the NSAA District Music Contest. Ladies and gentlemen, Taylor Jansen. J.D. Jurgensen of Lincoln Southeast High School. J.D. maintains a 3.94 grade point average while participating in basketball and baseball. He received 2009 NSAA Academic All-State Honors in basketball and baseball and was honorable mention All-State in both sports a year ago. A member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes and Campus Life team, J.D. is a volunteer for Habitat for Humanity and the Friendship Home. Ladies and gentlemen, J.D. Jurgensen. Next, we have Silas Peterson of Gretna High School. Silas is a 4.0 student who participates in football, wrestling, track and field, play production, and music. He was a member of Gretna's 2008 Class A and 2007 Class B NSAA State Play Production Championship casts and 2008 and 2009 NSAA Class B State Football Playoff qualifying teams. Silas has also earned superior ratings in choir at the NSAA District Music Contests. Ladies and gentlemen, Silas Peterson. Joe Starkey of Grand Island Central Catholic High School. Joe carries a 3.85 GPA while participating in tennis, soccer, play production, speech, and music. He has earned academic all-state honors in soccer, as well as superior ratings in 16 choral and instrumental events at the NSAA District Music Contest. An all-conference band and choir selection, Joe is also a 2008 NSAA District Speech Medal winner and a member of the National Honor Society. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Starkey. Our next recipient is Cynthia Thomas of Omaha South High School. Cynthia is a 3.97 student who participates in volleyball, basketball, and track and field. She is captain of the volleyball and basketball teams and a Wendy's High School Heisman finalist. Cynthia is a National Honor Society member, student mentor, senior class officer, and Toys for Tots volunteer. Ladies and gentlemen, Cynthia Thomas. Nathan Van Winkle of Cody Kilgore High School. Nathan carries a 3.83 grade point average while participating in football, track and field, play production, speech, music, and journalism. Last year, he earned NSAA Academic All-State Honors in play production, speech, and music. He has also earned superior ratings as a soloist at the NSAA District Music Contest and Outstanding Performer Awards at the District Play Production Championships. Ladies and gentlemen, Nathan Van Winkle. Our final recipient is Cody Wendelin of Crete High School. Cody is a 4.0 student who participates in football, wrestling, soccer, and music. He has earned NSAA Academic All-State Honors in wrestling and soccer and qualified for the 2009 Class B State Wrestling Championships. Cody was a part of Crete's 2007 NSAA Class B State Football Championship, and in music is an All-Central Conference Honor Band selection. Ladies and gentlemen, Cody Wendelin. And now, folks,
some terrific achievers, believers, all of them great contributors to their school and their community, the believers and achievers from the NSAA for 2009. We are at halftime of the Class B State High School Football Championship. Omaha Skutt and Aurora locked up in a good one. Skutt leads it by 8.
Programming on NET television is made possible in part by U.S. Bank. The U.S. Bancorp Foundation supports charitable, educational, and community service-oriented organizations in communities across Nebraska and the nation. U.S. Bank employees dedicate their time and efforts to local causes they are truly passionate about. U.S. Bank. Wherever you go, you'll find us.
Programming made possible by Time Warner Cable, supporting local educators by providing free cable connections to public, private, and parochial schools in our area. Time Warner Cable, the power of you.
Hey, college doesn't just happen. You have to be a pain, in a good way. Find someone to help you, like your mom, dad, teacher, or coach. Keep asking until you find someone who will. There were adults in my life who made sure I took the right classes in high school, helped me apply for scholarships and research colleges. Someone will help you too. You just have to ask. This is the one time it's okay to be a pain.
You're watching NET1 and NET HD.
Nebraska, we asked and you delivered. You gave us good cooks, treasured recipes, and celebrated family stories. I'm Chef Brian O'Malley, your host of NET's program, The Recipe Box. Join us as we celebrate the culinary heritage of Nebraska through its food and its cherished stories that make us savor the taste of home.
Recipe Box, Sunday night at 7 Central Time on NET1 and NET HD.
And Aurora got a heavy dose of Tyson Brockmeyer going in this game. The quarterback, 61 yards rushing and a touchdown. And Brockmeyer pretty slippery sometimes tonight.
Yeah, early in the game, a big factor for their football team. Been a big factor all year. And then there's the pick as Jacob Schaefer picks this one off, his third interception on the year, but this one a big one. a pick 6 in the state finals.
Been very, very impressed with Skutt's overall team speed, both offense and defense. And
Brockmeyer again, Brendan.
All the way in for the touchdown, outran that speed, and here's Skutt with a great performance from Dudzik in this first half, although those picks that you saw caused some problems early. Jacob Smith getting out to the outside, and you'll see Jacob Smith making plays all throughout these highlights of the first half, as Dudzik, speaking of a playmaker, made a couple with his legs tonight. 12 carries, 69 yards, 2 touchdowns in that first half. And here's Stringer stringing it out to the outside, Corey Stringer. And now Dudzik to the air, and here's Jacob Smith again.
Right into double coverage, and the ball splits the defenders. Goes for the touchdown, and there's that quickness you're talking about, Brendan, right there.
Out of all these highlights, everything you're seeing with Skutt is just speed, 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 and they're just wearing down that defense with their legs.
There it is again.
And let's check in with Larry Putney. He's down on the field with the coach. Larry?
Well, Coach, the good news is you've moved the ball at will, and Dudzik's been special.
Yeah, our quarterback's done a great job all year. He's thrown a couple picks, which is new for him, but the one for a touchdown was my fault. That wasn't his. That was a bad call by me. So I told him at halftime the score should be 21-6 or 21-7, and I'll take responsibility for that one.
So the two interceptions really the only drawback. Anything else you saw that you wanted to take advantage of in the second half?
You know, I hope we can just keep moving the ball a little bit on the ground, a little through the air, and you know, with the lead, I hope we can run some clock. Who knows? They're a great team.
Appreciate it, Matt. Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Let's take a look at the numbers from this first half as we get ready to kick off the second half here at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. And you see 190 yards to 92. That defense has been very solid, but those interceptions leading to the points for Aurora, and frankly the Skutt turnovers keeping Aurora right in this football game.
And we did not think we would see that, given the fact that Christian Dudzik, the quarterback, had only thrown 1 interception in 153 attempts. And there you see it right there, 12 attempts and 2 picks involved there. And then they ended up turning into points, too. That's the key element right there.
So ready for the second half. Skutt will have the football first. Aurora will kick off, although with tonight kicking in Aurora, you never know what might happen. Could be an onside kick, could be a pooch kick, could be anything. So we'll wait and declare it Skutt's ball until they actually have it in their hands as Jacob Smith stands back deep to return this kick.
I think the strategy is to keep it away from Smith.
Appears to be the strategy. There's a line drive kick, bounces once, taken by the up back at the 20-yard line. Looking for running room across the 30 and out near the 40-yard line. Stringer with a nice return, and he's a dangerous return man and a good open field runner in his own right. Out to the 39-yard line where it's first down and 10 for Skutt.
Corey Stringer coming into this game, second leading rusher this season, 101 carries, 678 yards, 6 touchdowns. There's a threat for you, another threat for Skutt.
It gives his team a very good spot here to start this third quarter. Always this first 5 minutes, third quarter, always important time in each team's future.
First down from the 39-yard line. Dudzik and company back to work. And Dudzik on the option pitch. Stringer trying to turn upfield. There's a flag down as Stringer's out of bounds near the 43-yard line.
Maybe a block in the back here, guys. Coach Turman not happy about that one at all.
Well, Aurora's coming out in a 3-2 defense here, and what that does is it gives you more hats on the outside for your defense. You know, obviously with the option that Skutt has here with the athletes they have, you know, they're stretching it as far as they can, waiting to the last minute, and that's what you'd like to see on the option. Having the ability to just wait to the last very second, get rid of that ball and or keep it.
Saw Randy Schnackenberg, the referee, give that signal block in the back. So we'll bring that play back 5 yards.
First down and 16 now at the 33-yard line. Too wide to the right of the line. Backs line up in the eye. Skutt with a 21-13 lead just underway here in this third quarter. Dudzik on the option keep, and not a whole lot of running room up there. Ran into Nathan Suk, who gets the Sioux chant from the Aurora fans.
It's become quite popular in this place here this year.
Great fill by Suk. You kind of scratch your head, wonder why they don't get a hat on him, but he's filling the hole very well for Aurora tonight.
Second down and 12. Ball at the 37-yard line. Smith and Jablonski on the outside. Dudzik in the gun on 2nd and 12. Dudzik on the roll. Blockers out in front. Throws on the run. Nice catch at midfield after a good throw and a first down. Jablonski to the Aurora 47-yard line.
Play took a little time to develop, but he had that time because of the convoy of blockers out there leading that play, moving that pocket away to the right-hand side, giving him the ample opportunity to throw the ball and get set. And then there's Jablonski just waiting in that deep hole in that zone defense.
Skutt more than happy to just pound out some first downs here in this third quarter, as Matt Turman told Larry they'd like to shorten this game a little bit in the second half with the lead. Motion coming across from Alex Castor. Toss play, Stringer. A little bit of a crease, and Stringer down to the 43-yard line. 4-yard gain on the play for Corey Stringer, and we want to say a special hello to Brian Stringer, his brother, who emailed us and is happy to see his brother playing. He said, I want to thank you for airing the Skutt Aurora game on the internet. I'm currently in the Marine Corps stationed in San Diego, and this is the first football game of my brother's that I've had the fortune of seeing. Your webcast is excellent. Keep up the good work. And Brian, thank you. You keep up the good work.
Absolutely. Good luck, Brian. Appreciate what you're doing a great deal.
2nd and 6, and down to the 40-yard line goes Kyle Picorni, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 3 for Skutt.
True to form, Coach Turman coming out in the second half, basically saying he's going to mix it up. Good amount of plays that they've been running here are about the same. You know, we're talking about 3 or 4 different running plays, a couple different passing plays. Until they can stop it, you don't get away from it.
3rd down and 3 from the 40-yard line. Backs in the eye for Skutt. First possession of this third quarter. Dudzik throws on the run, and did he make the catch? A flag is down. He did, and then thrown out of bounds near the 35-yard line. It'll be a first down if the play stands, but a couple of flags.
Holding call out here on Skutt.
Nice catch by Jablonski to hold that one off the field turf.
The only other player over there was Spencer Mashing. And there it is, hold.
So the hold is called, and Spencer Mashing is the most likely candidate for that penalty directed his way. See if we can see it here.
Oh yeah, he grabbed the old shoulder pad, just pulled him right down. When you redirect a player's motion or his direction, you got a problem with that, and the referee right there.
Tell you what, Aurora was fortunate that didn't offset with a throw out of bounds on that play. 3rd down and 12 at the 49. Dudzik with trips to the left of the line in the gun. Dudzik rolls to the left. Sets. Throws down the sideline. Open Stringer at the 30-yard line. Fumbles the football. Loose on the field, and Aurora's got it.
Oh, boy. Woo. Second big turnover here for Skutt. Chance to make a big play. Got to have ball security. Obviously, very disappointed. Corey Stringer making a huge grab. I think what happened there was Aurora's defense was trying to make a move on the ball, got caught, and Corey Stringer came up with a great play. Unfortunately, turning it over at the end. You got to have ball security.
Dudzik gets squared up on the throw, is coming back to the left side here, but now Stringer just loses the handle. And of course, Aurora, we know from earlier, plus 16 in the turnover department.
First down for Aurora. Brockmeyer to the 27-yard line. In other words, no gain. 2nd and 10 for the Aurora Huskies, down by 8 with 8:55 to play in the third.
Seems like over the last 2 or 3 series for Aurora, they have had no rhythm. And a lot of that has to do with how well Skutt is pursuing to the ball. They've got to come out here and establish, I think, the running game, get into a little bit more of a rhythm. Calm Brockmeyer down, find the open man, make some big plays.
2nd and 10 from the 27. Brockmeyer Going to throw on the run. Catch made at the 39-yard line by Josh Bart. Good open field tackle by Christian Dudzik, but that's a first down and a pickup of 12 yards for Aurora.
Boy, Brockmeyer handling this particular part of the offense extremely well. What looks to be perhaps an option play, and could be an option play, turns into a forward pass downfield and picks up excellent yardage and the first down to boot and keeps that offense on the move.
Yeah, we've seen it a couple times from Brockmeyer. A little rollout quarterback pass play. Yeah,
that man behind him too, Brendan. Of course, he gets trapped back there. He's got a bit of an outlet to go to.
Brockmeyer on the keep, trying to find a little bit of room, and Brockmeyer hit down hard at the 45-yard line. Dudzik really popped Brockmeyer after the pickup of 6.
Wow. Jake Haas in there too.
That may have popped him in the head a little bit. He was kind of adjusting his helmet.
Watch this hit here. He's going to take a major blow from Dudzik, and then he's going to be down there. He's a little slow of responding.
Skutt's Jake Haas making an absolute wonderful play there. Second on the team with 122 tackles, senior, 6'3", 250.
Seth Schnockenberg for a moment thought he was going to come in, but Brockmeyer ran back out. 2nd and 4 from the 45. Brockmeyer sets, going deep down the near side for Brian Arndt. That ball well out of bounds, and it'll be 3rd down and 4.
Nice little matchup.
Yeah, coverage was there, Brendan. Using that sideline to help. Spencer Mashing again, using that sideline to help him out on the route. Using that body to force him towards that sideline and out of bounds. No chance at all to complete it, or if it does, it won't work because he is out of bounds.
3rd down and 4 from the 45-yard line. Brockmeyer in the gun. On 3rd down, you see Aurora just 1 for 5 tonight. 3rd and 4, make it 2 for 6 as they convert to the 48-yard line. Josh Bart with the juggling grab, and it's a 1st down.
Brockmeyer's, I think he's settled down now. The ball seems to be flying out of his hand the way he's normally used to throwing it, and landed right on target.
Well, they've been living with this play tonight. To just that deep turn in by the receiver in that little hole in the zone. I think that's about the 3rd or 4th time they've completed that tonight. But add a couple more if the ball had been there.
Sure.
1st down and 10 from the 48. Motion coming across the fake. Brockmeyer, quick throw, and it's dropped at the 45-yard line. Good play, though, out there on the receiver, Brian Arndt. It was Will Lanick who came up and met Arndt just as the ball got there and jarred it loose.
Going back to the well a few times on that same play. You almost wonder, they'll probably go back to that play. If they're smart, they'll go back to it and fake that and just get this guy running down the sideline. Might just catch him wide open for 6.
2nd down and 10 from the 48. Brockmeyer over the middle. Grab made. 1st down to the 38-yard line. Josh Bart. Pretty simple little play, but he gets 10 yards and gets another 1st.
They had everybody going right and left on the routes, and then just sneak Bart right over the middle.
Looks like they're going to measure this one.
Now the mark may be a little bit short.
Yeah, he looks short to me.
We've been batting about 50-50 on these guesses today, though.
It's one of those Kleenex 1st downs. So
we've had several throughout the day today.
Yeah,
that one's going to be short. Just inches short of the 1st. So 3rd down and about a 1/3 of a football for the 1st down.
So what's the play you call? You put
Five
Rodriguez on the right or the left, and you go right behind the big boy.
Well, there's nothing wrong with following a 315-pounder. Here comes the heavy set in. Kyle McCarthy, the 200-pound blocking fullback / tight end in.
Yep. Rodriguez lining up on the left.
And in the gun, Brockmeyer. 3rd down and inches. Low snap. Brockmeyer going to throw. Wide open. McCarthy all the way in for the touchdown.
It's a great call.
You just wondered, with 3rd down, if they don't make it, they go it again with that short distance. But I can't believe that Skutt's defense was sitting at the switch right there. It's hard to understand that one at all. They're too good of a defense to let that thing happen.
Well, once again, I talked about this at the beginning of the game, trying to really get Skutt to guess by utilizing Rodriguez's presence in the middle there, thinking that, okay, they're going to just try to get it up the middle here. You got 2 chances. What a great call by Aurora, catching them off guard.
And now they'll go for 2, try to tie this ball game up. 2 wide to the left. Austin Smith in at running back. They fake the toss to Smith. Brockmeyer going to try to run. Nothing there. Brockmeyer not going to get there. The 2-point conversion is no good, and Aurora still trails 21-19. And remember, the situation set up when they faked the extra point earlier in the game.
Yeah, remember this play. We'll remember this play for sure. Touchdown pass. Skutt will remember it for quite a while, but also we'll remember that missed 2-point play as this one winds down. This game is far from over, but remember that missed 2-point play.
Skutt 21, Aurora 19 with 6:14 to play in the third, the Class B state championship game. NET Sports coverage of the 2009 NSAA Football Championships are brought to you in part by U.S. Bank, committed to customer service through performances, products, and people. U.S. Bank, proud sponsor of the Nebraska School Activities Association, member FDIC. By Blue Cross Blue Shield of Nebraska. One less thing to worry about. And Quest Foundation, improving access to college through scholarships, grants, and college planning services. Third down and inches. And Aurora goes for the whole thing, and they get the whole thing.
Yeah, once again.
Right there.
And once again, you've got 2 opportunities. 3rd and short. Why not? You're in your own. You're on their territory there. You've got an opportunity to go for it twice. Just catching the defense off guard. Wonderfully called play there by the coaches of Aurora.
I'm not showing any receiving stats from McCarthy. Kevin, you got some more?
No, that
may have been his first touchdown pass this year.
Well, there's no better time for your first one than the state championship game when your team's trailing in the 3rd quarter, unless it's with no time remaining to win the game. Line drive kick caught at the 35-yard line, and Van Cat trying to advance it past the 40 and just gets to the 41-yard line. Kickoffs have been interesting tonight for Aurora, and Skutt's had some pretty decent field position as a result.
Yeah, they can sell these tickets at Disneyland for the kickoffs here. Cost you about, what's a ticket to Disneyland cost you? You guys know?
It's up 75, 80 bucks.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy the rides here tonight because it's been that way.
It's not been 75 or 80 bucks, that's for sure. First down and 10 from the 41-yard line. Corey Stringer running back in the eye, 2 wide to the left of the line. And on first down, option, Dudzik, pitch to Stringer. Stringer stumbling a bit as he made his turn, and that slowed his momentum enough that he only gets a yard to the 42-yard line. I'm not sure Stringer didn't get hurt as he came around that corner, and he's holding that left side. Maybe just cramping up a little bit. Try to stretch him out.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a cramp there. Thank goodness.
Might happen when he stumbled. The muscles take a. Watch it again here. Stumble right there.
See him almost reach down for that leg as he came around the corner, and Stringer trying to get that cramp stretched out with 5:54 remaining here in the 3rd.
We're working on his left calf.
A lot of the success Skutt's had right now on offense is that perimeter blocking. And credit to Aurora on that last play. They've done a good job in trying to contain that perimeter and being aggressive and trying to get your hat in front of that offensive player and limiting the options on the perimeter.
Skutt leading by 2, 21-19. A 2nd and 9. Stringer off. Continuing to stretch on that sideline. That'll bring Will Lanick in as the running back. Dudzik's been the main rushing threat tonight, though, and he's under center. Second down and 9. Dudzik throwing on the run. High throw and almost picked off on the deflection. Chase Perry had it bounce off his hands. Jacob Smith, the intended receiver, and Perry almost got the 3rd pick of the night for Aurora.
Kyle McCarthy coming under pressure, stunning from his linebacker spot. Watch him, 35 here, or 45, beg your pardon. There he is right there, and pressure Dudzik to get rid of that football. Altered his timing, altered his rhythm, and that's what you want to do. If you can't get there, sack him and put him down. But make sure you pressure him enough that it just gets him out of his rhythm.
3rd down and 9 from the 42. Dudzik under center. Dudzik steps back to throw. Looking deep. Looking for Smith. Jump ball, and it's intercepted.
Another turnover for Aurora.
The 3rd pick of the night, Jacob Schaefer with his 2nd.
Yeah, it's like the one botch play that we had in the first half. He's throwing it downfield, double coverage. Not a smart play on the Skutt offense there. It's just one of those things where you got to be. Obviously, they stopped the last play, the play that they've been going to quite a bit, right? So just keep it simple, keep it in the inside, try to create some running. But going down deep like that in double coverage, that's tough.
They were able, again, as we talked about earlier, to get a touchdown out of double coverage. But now the last 2 times out, it has not worked. So keep it manageable, keep it under control. And the last couple of times, that has not been the case.
Doesn't kill you, though. It pins him inside the 20. Yeah. So at the very worst, it's kind of like a punt as Brockmeyer goes to the outside, spins away from one defender. He's not going to get away from Will Lanick, the 2nd man to greet him. And a minimal gain on the play for Brockmeyer.
It was like a punt, but what it does take away that momentum you have on offense. Skutt's had the momentum in this game, and to do something like that and have a turnover like that just stops that momentum.
And they started that drive at the 41, and that confidence factor. You talk about momentum, Brendan. That confidence factor too. You gave up a good scoring opportunity.
Great field position.
Just take it back, yeah.
2nd and 10 from the 19-yard line. Brockmeyer out of the gun. Throws. Good grab at the 30-yard line by Nikavich, and Nikavich down at the 32-yard line. A pickup of 13 and a 1st down for Aurora.
A lot of footballs thrown his way this year, Nikavich, but we've said his name a number of times. He's going to run a route, go down, and then come back for the football. Great route by Nikavich. He tried to run that defensive back off the ball, off the route. He did that for the most part, and it came back to meet the ball. Good route, good judgment.
Yeah, it was a great timing route.
The experience of this Aurora team in a championship situation very evident right now. They're not flustered at all by being down 2 as Brockmeyer with running room on the outside. Brockmeyer to midfield, still on his feet. Brockmeyer inside the 45 and down near the 41-yard line of Skutt. What a run of 27 yards by Tyson Brockmeyer.
5 or 6 chances right there to knock him down, and Skutt watches that film. Their players are going to say, we know how to tackle better than that. And most certainly they do, but just not able to get the belt and suspenders on Brockmeyer that time.
They'll mark him to the 40-yard line, a 28-yard gain, and what a run by Brockmeyer.
Count him up. There's 1. There's 2. 3. 4, 5, 6.
Brockmeyer to throw on 1st down. Nice catch again by Nikavich, and Nikavich down to the 22-yard line. Another 1st down, 18-yard pickup, and Aurora really moving the football.
Yeah, that interception is a great spark for their offense.
Absolutely.
It's a great spark for their team, and you see what's happening right now. They're relying, or they're using that spark to move this football and move it well. And that kid right there, Nikavich.
It's been the Brockmeyer-Nikavich story tonight for Aurora. Brockmeyer's really kind of settled down, and he's been much more accurate with his throws.
Nikavich, how many catches? 3 for 21? Okay. He had 8
all year.
Yeah, coming in.
1st and 10 from the 22. Aurora knocking on the door, trying to take the lead late in the 3rd. Brockmeyer trying to find some running room, slips another tackle. Brockmeyer down near the 10-yard line. Well, we've been singing the praises of Dudzik in the running game, but Brockmeyer now over 100 yards rushing on the night, and he has been almost impossible to stop in the open field.
Credit to those big guys up front. Rodriguez, Howler, Johns, Berthelsen, Bergmark, good blocking up front. Way to come off the ball. I believe Rodriguez probably had his 10th pancake tonight. He's just destroying guys coming off the ball.
Joe Vanami is the injured Skutt player, which will give Brockmeyer a chance to get a breather, and they'll tend to Joe Vanami down near the 15 or near the 10-yard line rather. Skutt being pushed around right now by this Aurora offense, and Aurora trying to jump back in front in this game. It's been a back and forth game tonight, and Aurora trying to regain the lead.
What I like, what I'm seeing out of Aurora right now, they understand their strength of their offense is to utilize their big guys up front in that power running game. Whether it's you're using your running back or your quarterback, they're attacking the middle of that defense, kind of eliminating that speed and taking it right to them, just wearing them down.
Vanami up in a seated position now, and they'll help him up and off to the sideline. Hopefully we'll see him back. He's one of their vocal leaders. Matt Turman telling me earlier in the week he's screaming all the time. He's just a non-stop talking machine out there.
Well, he's a go-getter. He runs the ball well on offense. He's a decent receiver and also a very good defensive player also. 72 tackles on the year and a sack and an interception and fumble recovery to go with that. So they use him and use him well, and he loves it.
First down and 10 from the 11. Austin Smith to carry, and Smith bounces off a would-be tackler inside the 10 down to the 9-yard line. 2-yard pickup for Austin Smith.
Just got a hit and wrap, and ball carrier didn't make a whole lot of yardage on that, but hit and wrap and keep that technique going.
Say Dudzik on that play made an unbelievable play from the safety position there. Just came up really the one hat that you couldn't account for in that running play. He comes up and makes the stop.
Second down and 8 from the 9-yard line. 2:10 remaining in the third. Brockmeyer with motion, fakes the give. Brockmeyer keeps inside the 5. Brockmeyer down near the 2-yard line. He can get a first down without a touchdown. He's a yard short of the first and 2 yards short of 6.
Aurora doing a great job utilizing their big offensive lineman, left guard this time, pulling around, creating a big hole for the running back. Well executed.
And that fake on the speed play really gets your attention on defense, especially down here, because you usually got just time to make one decision. You better make the right one. But when you see that speed guy coming, you're thinking he's going to get the football. You might want to shade that way a little bit. Here we go.
Third down and 1. Brockmeyer on the keep. Brockmeyer pushing towards the goal line, and he stopped short of the goal line, but he's got a first down for Aurora. So 4 downs to get about a yard and take the lead.
Pretty safe bet, I'd say.
You gotta like his chances.
Randy Hubert's saying, guys, here's what we're going to do. We're not going to fumble first. Take it from there.
Just pound it in right here. You got big guys up front. Definitely an opportunity for those guys to carry some pride into that end zone.
Brockmeyer, 242 yards of total offense.
Oh, you know it's coming out. Look at the center.
First and goal from the 1. Brockmeyer dives, and he's in for the touchdown. His second rushing touchdown of the night. And Aurora bolts back in front.
Back and forth here, guys. Back and forth. It's going to the wire.
That interception plays into that momentum. I'm telling you, it's critical. Even though, like we were talking about, it wasn't a huge playmaker difference for him. You know, pushed him back pretty much like a punt. But the momentum is huge, and Aurora's taking full advantage of it. And I tell you what, Garrett Johns, the center for Aurora on that play, did a great job coming off the ball. You knew he was excited coming up to the ball. You know, when you have that type of opportunity as an offensive lineman, you relish it and you get after it.
9-play, 81-yard drive, and they're going to go for 2. Brockmeyer all alone, surveying the field. Pass is tipped, incomplete. A flag comes in though. Thrown behind the play, the flag thrown, and
it's going to be pass interference.
If that's the case, then another chance for Aurora on the 2-point conversion. Aurora's been chasing that point all night long after faking the extra point on their first touchdown. And it's a hold, defensive hold against Skutt. Same result, and it'll be half the distance and another chance for Aurora to go for 2 here.
That's all you need, just another chance to go. And Coach Sturman, that's a little better explanation right there.
I believe he disagrees with the call.
And Coach Hubert, he just wants the 2 points.
Doesn't want to get caught in that situation where he's on the sideline being too vocal.
Well, it is another chance for a 2-point conversion. This time from the 1.5-yard line. Suk stands to the right of Brockmeyer. Brockmeyer to throw. Dumps it down low. It is caught. The 2-point is good. Josh Bart on the grab, and it's 27-21. Aurora by 6.
Well, you got to credit Brockmeyer for letting that play develop. Being patient back there.
Absolutely.
Watch this.
You know, there was a point there where I thought he was going to run it. Unselfish play. Let's, like you said, let's.
Here it is right here. Yep. He's going to let that play develop. You thought there he was going to run it just a click before that. And then a great job by
Josh Bart
to come across the goal line and just barely get in and give themselves a little wider margin here.
Well, let's check in downstairs with Larry Putney. Larry?
Well, thanks, Kevin. If at any point over the last 35 years you've covered high school football or been on the sideline of a high school football game, you know Bobby Mills. He's known as the 1,000-yard guy. You've been covering running backs all over the state for 35 years. Why do they call you the 1,000-yard guy?
Well, just for that reason. I've been doing it for 35 years to give the kids some recognition and that they so richly deserve.
Now, you've seen all kinds of running backs, all different eras. Tell me some of your favorite.
Well, it'd have to be, as we talked about before, Bobby Williams from way back. Danny Woodhead had to be very good. There's a couple 8-man, Dale Van Housen and Darwin Snyder are 2 of my favorites.
You weren't patrolling the sideline, but you saw Gale Sayers as well.
When I was a kid, my dad took me to see him, yes.
That's where the love of football started. You said this is your favorite couple of days of the year. It's the high school championships.
Just like being in heaven.
Well, he has done a great job, and you can see his stuff all over the place on the internet and everywhere, just covering high school football and keeping tabs on everybody who's going over the 1,000-yard mark or nearing the 1,000-yard mark and where they rank in history. It's great to have somebody who will really, I mean, there's so many folks who keep tabs on high school sports in this state. He's one of them.
Well, he mentioned one player in particular there, Bobby Williams. Back in the late 50s, early 60s, Williams and Kent McLuhan and Gale Sayers, they were the people that really set the high school football world on fire.
There's Jacob Smith on one of the first deep kicks of the night, and Smith takes it to the 30-yard line, where with 56 seconds left in this third quarter, Skutt will take over trailing again, 27-21.
This time not spotting him a good 20-25 yards, kicking it to Jacob Smith, and obviously he's a potential threat back there with his speed, but Aurora doing a great job and keep staying in their lanes on the kickoff and making the tackle.
First down and 10 from the 30-yard line. Dudzik in the gun with 2 wide left and 2 wide to the right. From the 30-yard line, first down and 10. Dudzik on the keep, looking for running room, and Dudzik stumbles forward near the 35-yard line. A 5-yard pickup for the Skutt quarterback. Each quarterback leading their team in rushing. 78 yards for Dudzik. Brockmeyer with 116 yards for Aurora. We have not seen much out of the leading rusher for Aurora tonight, James Van Pelt. In fact, he has 4 carries and -2 yards, the total for Van Pelt tonight. Haven't seen him much on the field tonight. It's been the Brockmeyer show for Aurora and the Dudzik show for the most part, with some help from Stringer. Second down and 5 from the 35. Stringer back out there on the field after the cramp earlier. Dudzik keeps, he's got the first down, and Dudzik to the 44-yard line. A 9-yard gain and a first down for Skutt with 12 seconds to go in the third quarter, maybe the final play of the quarter.
Yeah, you know, well blocked by Skutt right there. A well-designed play just to kind of scoot in behind your guard there. Pickup of, I think it was 8 yards to get the first down.
Stayed low, stayed behind those guys. I think it was Brandon Engel that he was tucked in behind.
And Skutt's going to line it up, but they're not going to snap this one before the end of the third quarter. So we've played 3 quarters in the Class B state championship game, and a fabulous fourth awaits. Aurora 27, Omaha Skutt 21. The fourth quarter is next.
You're on vacation in the mountains. You've got the kids, the dog, and your tent. Your son says hiking is lame, so you try rock climbing. It ends up being harder than it looks. Now you're in the hospital wishing you'd stayed home. But you've got Blue Cross and Blue Shield, so you know you're covered, even though you're out of state. So you relax, which is why you went on vacation in the first place. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska. One less thing to worry about.
Hey, college doesn't just happen. You have to push yourself as you go through high school. Don't be afraid to take classes like Algebra 2, Biology, or a foreign language. They can help raise your ACT score and prepare you for college. I wasn't the smartest kid in high school, but I took the tough classes and I passed. So what are you waiting for? Push yourself over to your counselor's office and sign up for them. They won't be easy, but you'll be glad you did.
Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska, the site of 6 state championship games over the last 2 days. We're heading to the fourth quarter of our final championship. Aurora leading Skutt 27-21. Earlier we gave you the NSAA championship trivia for our Class B game. Our trivia question: which Class B team holds the record for most points scored in an NSAA playoff game? And congratulations to Jason Bishop of Grant, Nebraska. He knew Lincoln Pius X scored 74 points versus Omaha Roncalli in 2004. Jason, congratulations to you. Not only Jason, a big high school fan, a big Husker fan out in Grant as well. First down and 10 from the 44-yard line. Dudzik, toss play, looking for running room to the outside is Stringer, and Stringer down behind the line of scrimmage, a loss of about 1.5 to 2 yards on the play.
Boy, Aurora lined up in their basic front, and then everybody, the linebackers, stemming and stunting their way, covering the gaps. Very, very difficult to run against that front, as we just saw. So, and just checking the numbers right now, the 27 points scored by the Huskies tonight, Aurora Huskies. It's the most points allowed by Skutt all year in all their regular season games and in the playoff games, individual game basis. So, it's been a heavyweight battle, just a back and forth punching match.
A lot of football to be played here. 2nd and 12 from the 42-yard line. Dudzik, play fake, quick pass over the middle, caught, and out near midfield is Alex Castor. Boy, Dudzik didn't do his tight end Alex Castor any favors, kept that one up in the air, and Castor paid the price.
I think that's the first time we've seen that play tonight, I believe.
Yeah.
Misconceived there?
No, I think that was the first time.
Alongside Adrian Fiala, Brendan Stye, Larry Putney, I'm Kevin Kugler. Our entire NET Sports production crew here with you tonight from Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska. They've done yeoman's work over the last couple of days, and such a great crew and such a great job done by all of them to get these games on the air for you the last couple of days. 3rd and 5 from the 49-yard line. Dudzik on the keep, and Dudzik with flags flying. That had the potential to go all the way, but everything stopped.
They ran a crossing blitz in there, and they caught him.
Right, they crossed the backers and they caught him in that.
Oh, but somebody just flinched early.
That's too bad.
Matt Turman knows. He saw that play develop. He says, who's the guy who did it? And he knew that play had the chance to go all the way.
Absolutely. And the thing on defense, it's feast or famine if you're blitzing. So on that play, Skutt had the ability to catch him in the right situation. It could have been 6 for him. Unfortunately, the offside is going to take him back.
If you get caught in that situation, you better have a safety that's not only fast, but very quick to recognize and get over there and help out. But that movement really killed that play.
6th penalty for 47 yards on Skutt. Makes it 3rd and 10 now at the 44-yard line. Dudzik, pressure comes. Dudzik on the roll, throws on the run. Catch is made at the 45-yard line, and that's a first down. Again, Castor paid the price after he made the catch, but he hung on to the football, and a first down for Skutt, converting again on 3rd down. They're now 5 of 8 on 3rd down tonight.
You talk about paying a price right there, as you will see right here. Kaboom. Got hit twice in the process, but delivering that football just in time as he had crossed that line for that first down.
Under 10 minutes remaining in the Class B championship. Skutt down 6 with the ball at the Aurora 45. Dudzik on the keep. Dudzik nowhere to run. Still makes a little bit of yardage to the 43. Picks up 2 where it looked like there was nothing.
Well, the thing about what Aurora is doing now is they're being very aggressive on defense. You saw the blitz that they got caught on, but they haven't let up. They brought the blitz from the outside. They bring the backers every time. And the thing that you're seeing Aurora do now, a lot like Skutt has been doing all game long, is the pursuit to the ball carry has been very well. All 11 guys are getting to that ball.
Aurora trying to hang on. 6-point lead. Trying to defend their Class B state championship. 2nd down and 8 from the Aurora 43 for Skutt. Dudzik on the keep. Now the pitch on the option. Stringer. Can he turn the corner? No, he can't. Josh Bart, terrific open field tackle. You can't defend the option much better than Aurora did right there.
Not at all. Tremendous work to the outside. What you got to do on the option, it's pretty much assignment football. You have to make it work, and the corner is going to make it work right here. As you see, Josh Bart coming up in some run support. You've got to have everybody do their assignment in option football, and they got it done right there.
Yeah. 3rd down and 7 from the 42. Again, 5 of 8 on 3rd down tonight for Skutt. So 3rd has been no problem. Dudzik on 3rd down to throw. Fires open, but well short. Oh, he had Miles Jablonski open for the 1st down and couldn't get it to him on the long throw across the field.
Yeah, he had plenty of time too. His little play action fake there, with everything going to the left. He had no pressure in his face. And the one thing that I'm seeing with the big guys up front for Aurora is they're playing the whole game. Rodriguez has been in there the whole game, wearing down a little bit. So the big guy's got to catch his 2nd wind here and put some more pressure on Skutt.
It's a good achievement. Guy that big playing both sides of the ball, offense, defense.
College is going to be a break for him.
Yeah.
Caster to punt it away for Skutt. A wobbler off the side of his foot and out of bounds. This is not going to get much for Omaha Skutt. The official still walking and marks it out at the 33-yard line. That is a 9-yard punt.
Just can't. The specialty teams tonight, absent maybe 1 or 2 kicks, the rest of it has not been very good at all. What are we talking about here?
9-yard punts.
Yeah. A lot of times in high school football, what you'll see is special teams play is not as sound as your other 2 phases of the football game. And it's showing up here.
From the 33, 1st down and 10. Brockmeyer and company back to work on offense. And up the middle, Nathan Suk fighting for a yard or 2 near the 35-yard line. We want to know what you think about Husker football, and we've made it easy. Go online each week to take the Big Red Sideline Survey. You can vote at netnebraska.org/Big Red Wrap Up, and be sure to watch Big Red Wrap Up on our new day this week, tomorrow night, 7 Central here on NET1 and NET HD. This week's guest is Matt Davis, and this week's Sideline Survey named the best Husker offensive lineman that ever came from out of the state of Nebraska. Your options: Brendan Stye or other.
Funny.
So far, other is leading by a wide margin. Yes. 2nd and 9 from the 34. Brockmeyer pumps. Now Brockmeyer going to scramble. And Brockmeyer down near the 40-yard line. Tackle made by Kyle Picorni.
I've been impressed with Skutt's front 4. Those guys they're doing a good job in trying to shore up the inside running game that Aurora has been presenting. Chris Loki and Turner Mead have been doing a good job up in there. And Jake Haas is also one of the featured players on that defense. Been doing a fabulous job.
3rd down and 3. A 1st down will allow Aurora to run a little more clock. If they cannot convert, Skutt's going to get it right back. Down just 6. Brockmeyer, swing pass, wide open on the outside. Suk's got the 1st down, and Suk's down at the 46-yard line. Good job in pursuit by Picorni, but he couldn't get there in time, and it's a 1st down for Aurora.
Yeah, Picorni was really running about as fast as he could go. Watch him here, 42. Trying to close it down and get there before he passes the stick. Not able to do that, but saves much more in the way of additional yardage. since he made that when he made that tackle there. But really tough for somebody like McCourty to get out there and compete speed-wise. Linebacker on the end or on the back.
First down and 10 from the 47. Brockmeyer on the keep. Brockmeyer, 9-yard run to the Skutt 44-yard line.
Yeah, now this thing is, the time is an essential element right now in this ball game. Is we're going to be under 6 minutes here very shortly. 3, 2, 1, and
tell you what, great block by Jamie Berkman downfield, really allowing Brockmeyer to get that extra yardage at the end.
2nd and 1 from the 44-yard line. There's Brockmeyer. 130 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns today. Also thrown for 134. 2nd and 1. Flag down as Brockmeyer down as well. Flags flying right in the middle of that pile, and that may be a hold.
Tell you one strategy from a defensive lineman standpoint. If you're going against me, Kevin, what are you going to?
That's a mismatch.
What are you going to do? Total mismatch here, but defensively smart play by Skutt. They're just diving at Rodriguez's legs and creating havoc right there in the middle of that.
It's a big traffic jam right in the middle.
Exactly. And a lot of times when that happens, you know, this type of stuff will happen. These flags will start to pull out.
Now here's the matchup, you and I.
Well, that's what I was saying. There you go.
Yeah, here we go. I'll be out there flying out of the booth here at any moment now. And notice Adrian's not rushing to the defense of me in this whole situation. You're laying out. You're conspicuous by your silence here.
It's not my week to play.
I always knew you'd have my back. 2nd and 11.
I do.
From the 40, from a long ways away. 2nd and 11. Here's Brockmeyer, and Brockmeyer across midfield just leans the ball across midfield and gives Aurora a 3rd down and about 7 for the first, but more importantly for Aurora, that clock continues to run, about to slip under 5 minutes to go.
That's the problem. As it continues to wind down, we're into the 4-minute range now. 6-point lead, still they need to get the ball back. Skutt needs to get the ball back and move, but it's an essential element right now for them to get a turnover, do something here to create it.
3rd down and 7. Ball at midfield. They need the 43 of Skutt to keep the drive alive. Brockmeyer to throw. Fires, and it is caught at the 42-yard line. A diving grab by Jared Nikavich. He has had a big day for Aurora in the pass game. That's his 4th reception.
And on that deep turn in, same play they've run time after time after time, and Skutt not able to deal with it.
Well, this is the first time Aurora's lined up in 5 wide, 0 backs. You knew exactly what they were going to do. Brockmeyer was going to throw that ball. The intention was to get the 1st down in the passing game, and they were very successful.
That drive will continue. A new set of downs, and Skutt with all 3 timeouts, getting close to time to start thinking about using those. And on 1st down, Brockmeyer buried back at the 45-yard line, a loss of 3. Clock will run down under 4 minutes to go.
That play was designed to go out to Van Pelt. You can do that fake to the inside and then get the ball out there on a deep pitch. Watch Van Pelt 24. See, he's looking to pitch the ball, but it gets shut down too quickly. Good work by Haas, as you mentioned earlier. Brendan doing a great job right there. But
well, you know what they're trying to run there is that zone option, and of course the penetration just kills you every time.
2nd down 13 from the 45-yard line. Swing pass. Van Pelt flag down, and Van Pelt down near the 40-yard line. That flag thrown right in the midst of the play and right in the direction of Josh Bart, who was blocking on the outside.
Yeah, Nikovich or Bart.
You got to think. You got to think the hold's coming up. We'll see here in a moment.
It's the toughest thing in offense to do is to block out on the perimeter.
See what we got up front here.
There's Bart, Nikovich. Yeah, he's looking at Bart. He called it on Bart.
Yeah.
Tough to do.
Move it back onto the Aurora side of the midfield stripe, back at the 48-yard line. 2nd down and 20 now at the 48, but the clock continuing to run. 3:25 and counting to go in this 4th quarter. 5 wide into the pattern. Brockmeyer all alone in the shotgun. 2nd down and 20. Brockmeyer Stands, now is going to scramble. Brockmeyer hit hard as he got to the sideline. Big hit leveled again by Kyle Picorni. And for Skutt, he got out of bounds.
Yeah.
And that's a big benefit for Skutt Kaplan.
Absolutely. But again, trying to rattle a cage there defensively, trying to rattle Brockmeyer's cage a little bit. Tremendous hit. Tremendous hit. You see Tim Turman, or Matt Turman, the head coach there, squeezing that program.
Well, the thing
Watch
is,
this. Watch this here.
Gets hit pretty good. Wow. Helmet across the bow. That's what you teach your kids, right? They went 5 wide in their set there. The problem is Brockmeyer's got to stay in that pocket and let something develop there. I mean, there's no reason for him to get out of the pocket. He had no pressure.
3rd down and 16. Clock stopped with 3:06 to go. Brockmeyer with all day.
There you go.
Brockmeyer stands, now is going to scramble, trying to direct some traffic. Brockmeyer stops again, throws back behind him to Suk. Suk with a blocker. Suk's got a first down. Suk inside the 25 and down to the 22-yard line. James Van Pelt led the way with a belt downfield, and Suk ends up with the first.
And the other part of that play that ends up being very significant.
There's a flag,
down.
And that is the big significance here if it's against Aurora and they're marching back.
But the other part of it, guys, is it took so long.
Waving it off. Waving it off. Did you not hear? I heard Van Pelt with that hit all the way from up here. Yeah.
But that play took so long to develop. He burned enough time. He burned a lot of time on that play. Just letting the play develop.
What poise right there. Just showing patience, letting something develop, just like you said, and decleat. Oh, that's a big block.
Matt Turman is unhappy, to say the least, with the fact that that flag was picked up. He ran out onto the field, lost his mind for a moment, then came back to the sidelines, and with 2:51 to go, needs some stops from his defense here. Aurora knocking on the door of what could be a game-clinching score. Brockmeyer gives it to Suk. Suk up the middle to the 10. Suk inside the 10 down to the 6. 1st and goal, Aurora. Suk with a rumble right up the gut.
Skutt looking for something going to the flanks as that play looked like it was going to go after the ball was handed off up inside there to Suk. Fooled Skutt's defense totally on the play.
Split back set. Handing the ball off, going right behind your center, Garrett Johns and Miles Berthelsen, the right guard. Great job.
1st down and goal from the 6. 2:25 to go. Aurora by 6 and looking for some big insurance here. On 1st down, towards the goal line, in for the touchdown. Austin Smith, his 7th touchdown of the year, and none bigger.
Just taking it right over left side. The mission blocks were there, and they were able to make those blocks. Watch this here. There's the big fella. He's got a good block in the backer.
That's a shame.
And there he just splits the rest of the Austin Smith just splits it.
Joe Von Amy's been playing great all game long and comes up short and trying to stop him in the hole there.
Extra point try now for Brockmeyer. What a turnaround for Aurora.
You really got to think about the size difference, you know, up front from Aurora and Skutt. Really what that does to the defense, just wears you out. You know, on the flip side, as we were talking, as far as Skutt's concerned, you know, having the speed and trying to wear out a defense like that, but you know, Aurora's done a great job as this game has been unwinding to really wear those guys out on Skutt's defense.
The best job they've done tonight, though, is take the ball away and then capitalize on the turnovers once they get the football. That was, again, that happened earlier in the ballgame as we talked about on that fumble recovery and the interceptions they've had, and they've turned those turnovers into points. And they just basically put it away right there. And that has been kind of the name of the game in terms of this ballgame tonight. Turnovers and points. Turnovers and points.
Well, we'd love to hear from you about our coverage of NSAA high school championships. You can jot us an email, sports@netnebraska.org. Send us a long email if you'd like. Doesn't have to be a jot, but just write us. You'll also let us know by writing Our sponsors will know as well that you're watching. If you value statewide NET television coverage of the NSAA championships, send us an email, sports@netnebraska.org. And thanks for watching the NSAA football championships exclusively on NET HD, and on the web at netnebraska.org. And if you'd like to get a DVD of this or any of our NSAA football or volleyball games, go online, netnebraska.org/sports, or call 800-868-1868. $19.95 plus shipping and handling, a small price to pay for a memory that will last a lifetime.
Well, really looking at numbers right now, you guys, what's impressive is both sides, all year long, all they've allowed on Aurora's side, they've only allowed 9.58 yards per game, and on Skutt's side, 7.25. Kind of amazing the amount of points have been scored tonight.
Kick that died at the 12-yard line. Stringer buried at the 18, and so Skutt 2:11 to play, down 13, and an almost impossible uphill climb. And what a drive that was for Aurora. 12 plays, 67 yards, took almost 6 minutes off the clock. That's a backbreaker.
Indeed, Kevin. And the other part of the equation goes to the interception side, the turnover or takeaway side. Dudzik had thrown just one interception all year, has 3 here tonight.
From the 18, first down and 10. Dudzik on the roll. Dudzik gonna run. Aurora's more than happy to see him do that. Down to the 29-yard line. Clocks will stop while they move the chains with 2:03 to go, but Aurora's not worried about an 11-yard run at this point by Dudzik.
No, they'll do that all night. They've got a little breathing room here, a 13-point lead.
What they've got to make sure they don't do is they don't get a guy behind. Keep him in front of you. They can make 10, 15-yard plays, but make sure they don't beat you deep.
On the 29, toss out to the sideline. Jacob Smith stays inbounds. First down at the 40-yard line. Smith still down at the 40-yard line after that hard tackle, and Smith will shake that one off with 1:51 to go.
A lot of twisting motion going on with that tackle, and got to think maybe that knee took a little more of a hit or a trauma than you'd want. He's okay.
First down, they're going to set the ball. The clock will start with 1:50 to play in this fourth quarter of the Class B championship, and Aurora with a 34-21 lead. Dudzik on the roll, throws across the middle, caught at midfield by Corey Stringer, and Stringer down to the 46 of Aurora with 1:38 to play.
Just keep burning time, and what's happening here right now, just they move those chains, get them set.
Both teams have 3 timeouts left. It's going to come into play here.
On the 46, Dudzik pumps, throws for the sideline, and a catch made. Great play by Jablonski to get the foot down at the 35 and move the chains again.
See Dudzik out here moving to his right. He's natural motion and right on the money. Well, they're moving the ball right down the field there.
Still 90 seconds to go. If they could get it into the end zone, still with those 3 timeouts, one never knows.
Special teams might just turn out to be the factor in this game.
Still some work to do, though, for Skutt to get that first touchdown. They need 2. From the Aurora 35, first down, play fake. Dudzik going to set up the screen behind with blockers in front for Stringer. Stringer at the 30-yard line. Stringer, a little bit of a stiff arm, and about a yard shy of the first down. Clock's going to continue to run, and now Turman will take a timeout from the sidelines with 1:18 to play in the fourth. And the Skyhawks down 13.
Good block by Corey Holman out there on that screen play. And then an even better recovery. Not sure who he was he blocked, but that player came back and got in on the tackle. Good hustle. Good hustle.
Second down and a yard to go from the 26-yard line. Now Skutt down to 2 timeouts and 1:18 remaining, trailing by 13. Plattsmouth, the only team to score even close to this amount of points on Skutt this year. They scored 19, lost that game 45-19. 17 points scored by Waverly, 13 by Cretan, 12 by Platteview, but nobody's come close to what Aurora's done tonight to this Skutt squad. And the defending champs are in prime position for a successful defense of that title. Second down and a yard from the 26. Dudzik in the shotgun, trying to get his Skyhawks into the end zone. Flag down, somebody moved early. Dudzik on the roll, throwing for the end zone, and nobody there. A lot of pressure, and Dudzik just got rid of that. See the flag, though.
Little quick step in the backfield that time. Running back there. Moving just a smidgen prior to the snap.
And the painful thing for Skutt is not only is it going to cost him 5 yards, but it's going to cost him the time that ran off the clock during that play.
Every moment that goes off, very, very precious for this team tonight.
Yeah, Aurora's playing some good defense right now. They're in a dime defense. Basically, one linebacker is more or less a safety net with 5 defensive backs. Definitely keeping everything in front of them, not giving up the big play.
Turman trying to figure out a way to coax his team into the end zone and then figure out a way to get it back, likely on an onside kick. Second down and now 6 back at the 31-yard line. Dudzik set. Dudzik pumps, throws. Smith with the catch at the 25. Smith to the middle of the field and a first down at the 22-yard line, and the clock will stop with 1:03 to go while they set the chains. Hurry up to the line. Skutt down 13. Dudzik will spike it with 1:02 remaining here in the fourth.
Minute 2 left in your season. Now this is where offensively you just got to be able to make the big play and obviously not turn the ball over right here. Aurora defensively has got to make sure they keep everything in front of them and not give up that big play.
Play selection right here, obviously critical, but you got to think, are they going to try to take a couple 3 stabs into the end zone or some other variation off the passing game? But I'm thinking to get it to the end zone.
Dudzik gonna run. Dudzik inside the 20 and dropped at the 17-yard line. Good tackle by Kyle Ehlers. Clock stops with the timeout. 53 seconds remaining, and the Skyhawks down to 1 timeout left in the ball game.
Skutt ever so mindful that he's got to be trying to get that football to the end zone, and they were prepared and ready to play back there in that secondary to keep everybody as well covered as they could in that end zone, and so that creates the play for Dudzik to go ahead and run the football. Gets upfield and picks up a few yards, but you need to get the ball in the end zone as quickly as you can.
Now, we've mentioned it before, and we will certainly mention it again, but we want to tip our caps to this terrific crew here with NAT Sports. Thanksgiving week, and they've all got their minds like we do a little bit on turkey and stuffing, but they've done a just amazing job the last couple of days, and it all started before you even saw any of it when they were here over the weekend getting things ready at the stadium for the State High School Football Championships. And just want to tip our caps to the best crew in the biz, getting this thing ready to go and getting these games on the air so you can see all the pictures and hear all the sounds from the State High School Football Championships. Great job, as always, by our crew.
Jacob Smith in the slot down here. See where he goes.
3rd and 6. Dudzik throws over the middle. Catch is made at the 15 and down at the 9-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal. Clock stops, 45 seconds to go.
Well, their efficiency on this drive has been incredible. They're throwing first down passes either on the first play, second play, and they'll stop at the clock and moving the chains.
1st down and goal from the 10. Dudzik again to the air, throws high and incomplete. Trying to hit Castor again on the grab, but a little bit tall for Castor, who has 3 catches tonight.
A little bit tall, a little bit hot. Ball had a little mustard on it. Try to force it in there.
2nd down and goal from the 10-yard line. Skutt trying to come up with a miracle here at Memorial Stadium. Down 13. This is the 11th play of the drive. Dudzik on the throw with the catch. Nope, incomplete. No, they're going to say he caught it and fumbled it. Aurora recovers. Suk on the run. And Suk able to get back on top of it after he fumbled it. And Aurora is going to have the football. They're going to say Smith caught it, fumbled it, Aurora gets it, and Aurora is going to win the state championship.
Jacob Smith coming out of that slot spot. We thought maybe that would happen a couple of plays before. Did not, and this time it does happen. Route right across the middle, and just a heck of a hit.
Great hit
by Joshua Bart, and the ball comes free, and the championship goes to Aurora.
Yeah, you know, more times than not, and I was going to address this 2 plays ago when Smith was running across the middle. He was trying to make a spin play. Aurora made a good play to stop him. The one thing in this situation offensive key players will do is they'll try to make plays, and I'm not saying that one wasn't that type of play. I mean, it was a great hit to cause a fumble, but you'll see turnovers more times than not, guys trying to make plays.
The knee taken by Aurora, and the Aurora Huskies, champions in 2008, and the congratulations begin on the sidelines. The Huskies, champions in 08 and champions again in 2009. Aurora will defeat Omaha Skutt. Your final score in Lincoln: Aurora 34, Omaha Skutt 21. The Aurora Huskies back-to-back state champs.
Yeah, nothing like that feeling, Adrian, as far as championship play. And the thing that I am most impressed about is how hard both teams played all the way to the end. And you can tell the guys that were out there playing the whole game, they are just completely tired. And that's what you want to do. You want to leave everything out on the field. But congratulations to Aurora. Great championship, back-to-back. Nothing like it.
You betcha. They gave up 34 points tonight to Aurora. Did Omaha Skutt on the season, and we talked about this top of the show. On the season, they had given up just 7 points a game. In the playoffs, a little less than that, just right at 6 points a game. So pretty disappointing in that regard to give up that many points. Defense played aggressively, played well, and then of course we talked about the interception side. They gave the ball away too much tonight, and beyond that, they put up points after those turnovers, and that was really the key for Aurora, to take the ball away, and not only that, but score after those turnovers materialized. So, but again, both of these teams, a well-fought football game tonight, a hard-fought football game, and you got to congratulate both of these teams. They came in undefeated, didn't disappoint in terms of play. One team has to win, one team has to lose.
Yeah, and they finished just like they started, 1-2. And you know, I think this game lived up to its hype. You had some featured players, some players that are going to go on and play at the next level. You're looking at one of them right there, Andrew Rodriguez. He's got a lot of talent, and you know, just looking forward to him.
34-21, your final. Aurora, the state champions in Class B, and we'll give out the awards next.
Programming made possible by Time Warner Cable, inspiring young people to build the skills they need in science, technology, engineering, and math to become the problem solvers of tomorrow. Time Warner Cable, the power of you.
Programming on NET television is made possible in part by U.S. Bank. Across Nebraska, the nation, and everywhere in between, U.S. Bank provides financial, trust, and investment services to individuals, large corporations, and small businesses. Wherever you go, whether it's in person, on the phone, or on the World Wide Web, you'll find U.S. Bank. You'll find more than 50,000 U.S. bankers, home of the 5-star service guarantee.
Nebraska Stories Online lets you find out more. Log on to netnebraska.org/Nebraska Stories.
Hello, I'm Ron Hull, inviting you to join me for a tour through some of America's great national parks. We'll take in the canyonlands of Arizona and Utah, Wyoming's wondrous Grand Tetons and Yellowstone, the beautiful Black Hills of South Dakota. For details, visit our website or call this number. This will be the trip of a lifetime. I hope to take it with you.
It's the Radio City Christmas Spectacular, starring the world-famous Rockette.
On NET1.
NET Sports coverage of the 2009 NSAA Football Championships are brought to you in part by the Nebraska Public Power District. Always there when you need us, together with your local public power utility. By the Nebraska Soybean Board, encouraging the use of renewable biodiesel fuels for a healthier environment. For information, nebraskasoybeans.org. And by Time Warner Cable, providing coverage of local high school sporting events and activities on Nebraska On Demand, Channel 101. Aurora, your state champions in Class B for the second consecutive year, 34-21 the final. And let's head over to our public address announcer, Doc Weininger, to introduce you to the runners-up, Omaha Skutt.
The Nebraska School Activities Association is honored to have medals and trophies for both of these outstanding teams. The award presentations will be made by NSAA Board of Control members Mark Norville from Fillmore Central, Max Kroger from Ord, and U.S. Bank representatives Jenny Hess and Sarah Anderson. Here are the awards for Class B runner-up, Omaha Skutt Catholic High School. Will head coach Matt Turman and your assistants please present the silver medals to the members of your team. Players, as your name is called, please come forward to receive your medal. Number 1, Colton Clark. Number 2, Corey Stringer. Number 3, Spencer Mashey. Number 4, Christian Duchik. Number 5, Jacob Smith. Number 6, Will Lanik. Number 7, Cody McBride. Number 8, Tim Durkin. Number 9, Josh Podlowski. Number 10, Tyler Friend. Number 11, Trey Taveldi. Number 12, Jake Lamontia. Number 13, Carson Cedarberg. Number 14, Drew Furbach. Number 15, Michael Van Kat. Number 18, Sam Schlecht. Number 19, Austin Newcomer. Number 20, Blake Wagner. Number 21, Brett Winkie. Number 22, Miles Jablonski. Number 23, Matt Miller. Number 24, Kevin Walker. Number 25, Garrett Worka. Number 28, Brandon Cathell. Number 31, Spencer Secor. Number 32, Alex Toma. Number 33, Nick Meyer. Number 35, Joe Vanami. Number 36, Zach Weiss. Number 39, Trent Fuller. Number 40, Alex Bile. Number 42, Kyle Picorni. Number 44, Zach Courtney. Number 45, Waleed Rabat. Number 47, Alex Castor. Number 50, Chris Loki. Number 54, Jake Hawes. Number 55, John Keck. Number 57, Tommy Vollmer. Number 59, Matt Arkfeld. Number 60, Turner Mead. Number 62, Randon Engel. Number 65, Eddie Tridge. Number 66, Matt Bukowski. Number 68, Travis Holman. Number 70, Nolan Ruby. Number 71, Cole Kessler. Number 72, Chris Corderoli. Number 73, Dylan Duran. Number 74, Alex Howard. Number 76, Corey Holman. Number 77, Nick Vandervorst. Number 78, Jack Bystrick. Number 80, Sid Rye. And now, here is the 2009 Class B runner-up trophy. Congratulations, Omaha Skutt Catholic High School.
And there you see Omaha Skutt Catholic, the Class B runners-up in their second trip to the state championship game. Obviously a disappointed team in Omaha Skutt. There's no question about that. They'll look back on this season with a lot of fondness, a lot of great memories, but obviously some disappointment. You never want to lose the state championship game, and Skutt very sad right now, and they'll get the chance to reflect and reminisce about this as time goes on.
And work towards next year. Again, they have an excellent coach, a great staff, and try to get back here. They came here to win. Both of these teams are here to win the football game, and it's unfortunate, as we talked about during the telecast, that somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose, but a well-played, hard-fought football game tonight, guys, and you like to see that, and we saw the glimpse of the future for some people going on to college, Brandon.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Andrew Rodriguez showing his presence out on the field today, and you know, of course, in that first half, I was a little surprised. I thought Skutt had the momentum, but in the end, it's always the turnovers that kill you. And of course, that was unlike you know, Skutt throughout the whole season. Turning the ball over 3 times a night really got him in the end. But a credit to both of them. They played hard. It was a great game to watch. 1 and 2 coming in and finishing up 1 and 2. An exciting game. And so looking forward to seeing Matt Turman have a lot of success as the coach at Skutt.
You want to keep up with your old teammate,
Absolutely,
don't you?
yeah. I was very proud of him tonight, just like I was when I played with him back in the 90s. But yeah, definitely a great game to watch.
Let's head back to Doc Weininger, our public address announcer, to introduce you to the champions from Aurora.
And now to the champions from Aurora High School. First, head coach Randy Hubert, we have a special award for you. And now, coach, would you and your assistants please present the gold medals to the members of your championship team. Players, as your name is called, please come forward to receive your medal. Number 1, Chase Perry. Number 2, Tyson Brockmeyer. Number 3, Joshua Bart. Number 4, Austin Smith. Number 5, Seth Schnackenberg. Number 6, Joshua Danhauer. Number 9, Matthew Grosshand. Number 10, Dylan Olson. Number 11, Brian Arndt. Number 12, Andrew Farron. Number 14, Mitchell Muller. Number 15, David Schroeder. Number 19, Benjamin Soul. Number 20, Bryce Andrews. Number 21, Bo Simmons. Number 22, Benjamin Vincent. Number 23, Trevor Thorell. Number 24, James Van Pelt. Number 25, Joshua Dana. Number 27, Bryce Quinn. Number 28, Austin Bart. Number 30, Samuel Shaw. Number 31, Mitchell Oswald. Number 33, Caleb Malsbury. Number 35, Taylor Reichart. Number 41, Nathan Suk. Number 44, Clinton F. Number 45, Kyle McCarthy. Number 50, Jonathan Sims. Number 52, Jordan Howheeler. Number 53, Trevor Sullivan. Number 55, Derek Flores. Number 57, Cody Collins. Number 58, Blake Headley. Number 59, Jamie Bergmark. Number 61, Miles Berthelsen. Number 62, Stephen Karate. Number 65, Andrew Bergman. Number 67, Timo Paw. Number 71, Max Anderson. Number 72, Kevin Uzi. Number 73, David McDonald. Number 75, Garrett Johns. Number 76, Zachary Eckert. Number 77, Daniel Loveland. Number 78, Andrew Rodriguez. Number 79, Bradley Howheeler. Number 80, Jacob Schaefer. Number 81, Jared Nikavich. Number 82, Kyle Eller. Number 83, Stephen Stoffer. Number 84, Trey Allen. Number 85, Pierce Bartley. Number 86, Jacob Schleichart. Number 87, Eustace Bikey. Number 88, Christian Woodhill. And now, for these outstanding athletes in their school, here is the 2009 Class B State Football Championship Trophy. Congratulations, Aurora High School.
There they are, the champions of Class B, and Brockmeyer was one of the big reasons why their quarterback, 22 carries, 135 yards, 2 touchdowns for Tyson Brockmeyer. He also threw for 172 yards tonight, and a touchdown. Just a tremendous job done by Tyson Brockmeyer to rally Aurora to their second straight state championship.
And he will have another year to go. He's just a junior, so you expect to see him on the gridiron next fall, and perhaps back here. We'll see how that goes. But congratulations to Randy Hubert, their head coach, to Scott Jones, Gordon Wilson, Kyle Peterson, and Nate Larson, their assistants.
Let's head downstairs and check in once again with Larry Putney.
Down here with Randy Hubert, head coach. Congratulations. First of all, you had 13 points at halftime off turnovers. You end up getting 27 of your points off of turnovers. Talk about how big those were.
Well, I think we were very opportunistic, and we made some great plays. Some interceptions where kids just broke on the ball and went up to get a ball. And, I give a lot of credit to our defense, and we forced a lot of those turnovers. And then we were able to convert on them. So, yeah, it's awesome to be able to do that, and especially against a team like Skutt, because we feel fortunate to beat a team like them. They're very good, and it's just an honor to be at this game and compete at this level. So it's great for our program.
Talk about Brockmeyer. Your team had 333 total yards of offense. He had 307 of those.
Tyson's just a tremendous athlete, and he does a great job with his poise, his leadership, making things happen on the field. Did a great job of running the option and finding the open receivers, passing the ball. And we moved the sticks, and we got first downs, and those things led to touchdowns. So he did a great job.
Randy, congratulations.
I appreciate that.
Let's go to Tyson Brockmeyer. I just told Coach you had 307 total yards of offense. Things got off a little slow for you guys, but in the second half, you really picked it up. What was the difference?
Yeah, we struggled early, and I think our line opened up, and we got out to the outside, and our receivers blocked well, and they made big plays, and it was just really fun. And, we got it going. And then once we got rolling, then we were just tough to stop, and our defense made some really big plays, and we had some interceptions that were really key and helped out a lot.
Talk about the momentum that those turnovers provided. You ended up with 5 turnovers, 27 of your 34 points off the turnovers. How much momentum did that provide for you?
That first turnover, Jacob Schaefer had that pick 6. That was great because, I mean, we were kind of getting down and they drove all over us and we picked it off and took it back and we got a lot of excitement going and it was just great to get going. And then we kind of had some adversity and Coach always talks about that. Second half we came out and we played well and we just came out with the win and it was fun.
When you had to drive down the field and put points on the board, you did it through the air very effectively. Talk about that drive when you took the lead.
I mean, it was just great. I mean, Coach tells me which guys to read, and I did it, and it worked out tonight. And our receivers made some moves and got going, and a couple of times, I mean, we were scrambling around, and there was a guy on the backside, and that was a big play for us, and that helped out a lot.
Last question. On that last pass, when you were scrambling all over the place, it looked like you almost decoyed. You put your hands down for a second because you saw the open man and flipped it over. Did you see him?
Oh, well, I was looking around, and my receivers talk a lot about if I'm scrambling, look around backside, and Nate was standing over there, and he got big play, and James got a block out there in front. It was just great.
And one more thing, congratulations.
Thank you.
Joke's on.
Thank you, Larry. Larry Putney down on the field. Solid job all night long for Larry Putney. Of course, he was up here yesterday, did a great job in the booth as well. A wonderful 2 days of state championships here at Memorial Stadium. Aurora caps it with a Class B state title.
Excellent football game tonight. You'd like to see a hard-fought game, very competitive game, aggressive game. We saw all of that tonight between these two teams. Some great individual effort also, as we saw right there with Tyson Brockmeyer, the things he's done tonight. But congratulations to both teams. You both acquitted yourself very, very well here tonight, and very competitive, and keep going. Keep working at it and keep going.
Yeah, it just kind of brings me back to those memories of hoisting a trophy over my head. Aurora Huskies have, obviously gotten to this point for a reason. They're a good football team, well coached. On the other side of the ball, you've got Skutt, same thing. Great play, great coaches. Congratulations to both.
Now, once again, our final score tonight, the Aurora Huskies, Class B champions with a 34-21 victory over Omaha Skutt. Our thanks to our entire NET Sports production crew for a job well done over the last couple of days. And now for Adrian Fiala, Matt Davison, Damon Benning, Brendan Stein, Larry Putney, John Bishop, and the entire crew, I'm Kevin Kugler. So long from Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Farmers rely on it. Businesses depend on it. Families trust it. It is public power. And at NPPD, we know Nebraskans don't take it for granted. That's why every dollar is reinvested into the system. The power plants, transmission lines, and utility employees that deliver safe and reliable electricity to you. Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us, together with your local public power utility.
You're on vacation in the mountains. You've got the kids, the dog, and your tent. Your son says hiking is lame, so you try rock climbing. It ends up being harder than it looks. Now you're in the hospital wishing you'd stayed home. But you've got Blue Cross and Blue Shield, so you know you're covered, even though you're out of state. So you relax, which is why you went on vacation in the first place. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska. One less thing to worry about.
Programming on NET Television is made possible in part by U.S. Bank. The U.S. Bancorp Foundation supports charitable, educational, and community service-oriented organizations in communities across Nebraska and the nation. U.S. Bank employees dedicate their time and efforts to local causes they are truly passionate about. U.S. Bank. Wherever you go, you'll find us.
Soy biodiesel from Nebraska soybeans lowers our dependence on foreign oil. It has properties that reduce engine wear. And it burns without harmfully polluting the atmosphere. The Nebraska Soybean Board encourages the use of soy biodiesel.